Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
And here we go on a Friday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer Mark the Shark Bobo. We have made our way here to a Friday. First one in April. What's going on, buddy? Good to talk to you.
Oh, excited, Beam. Excited to be here for this first Friday in April, the last first Friday in April that Shark will be a part of.
It's crazy.
The last first Friday in April.
Yeah.
That's true, Shark. Factually accurate.
Facts.
And it's you know what? It is appropriate with the old little limerick, April showers bring May flowers. It has been raining, sir, since the start of April 1. Pretty thick and fast.
I'd say April showers bring May floods.
That might be good.
April showers bring April later flowers. Who knows what's going to happen in May?
If April showers bring Mayflowers, Shark, what do Mayflowers bring?
The Pilgrims.
Good job.
Thank you.
Well done on that. You guys,
I feel alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic today.
that's good. Just get 1% better every day, Beam.
I'm trying to. That's all we can ask, right?
Yeah. Try to wake
Where's
up.
that from? 1% better every day.
It's from a book, Beam?
I think so.
Book I may have read last year called Atomic Habits.
Okay, that's right.
There we go. Just get 1% better every day. I tell my son how to eat an elephant one bite at a time.
That's the first thing that popped into my mind. I told that to Meredith. The other day.
She ever heard that
No,
before?
she hadn't.
Really?
Yeah, we were folding laundry.
Probably had a big stack.
It was after a rough day. Like, we did a lot going on. Willie was giving us a really good match that day, and we had just put him to bed, and she comes out from his room, like, all right, it's laundry folding time, and she just goes, ugh.
She doesn't like folding laundry?
No.
Honestly, I used to hate it when I was younger. Now I find it cathartic.
Okay.
Yeah. It's something that I can always do every day and I feel like I've achieved something.
Yeah, she goes, I don't want to do
There was
this.
an empty basket, now, or a full basket, now it's empty, and now there's clean clothes.
Like therapeutic for you a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her, I was like, all right, well, I'm like, you wouldn't want to do it 5 minutes from now. We wouldn't want to do it a half hour from now. You wouldn't want to do it tomorrow.
So just go for
And
it.
I said, eat the frog.
Yep,
Eat the frog.
I like it, babe. You're coaching her up now.
I'm trying.
This is good.
She's not coaching softball for these last couple of years, so someone's got to be able to coach her.
Yeah.
We got a great show lined up for you here this morning. Buckeyes had some practice yesterday, offensive line day over at the Woody, one of the more fascinating positions this spring over at Ohio State. We're going to hear from Tyler Bowen and some offensive linemen coming up here around 6:17. Interesting situation that was dropped by Katie Blackburn and the Bengals earlier this week down in Florida. Like, I don't know, she kind of dropped a bomb and nobody noticed it, and then pertaining to them maybe relocating, like putting some pressure on Cincinnati. So that's a weird situation. We'll get into that coming up here, bottom of the hour. Jackets clunker last night, 7-3. They were playing well and then just kind of got away from them against the Avs. So we'll get into that top of the 7 o'clock hour. Reds make some history. Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda, he's going to join us at 7:17. Austin Ward, he's going to break down some Buckeye spring ball with us coming up at 7:30. And then, as always, as is tradition, 8:30 on a Friday, our guy AJ Hawk, he's going to join us. Before we hop into anything else today, it is Friday. It's the 4th day of April, 2025. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bobbo, what do you got lined up for us today, buddy?
It is April 4th, 94th day of the year, 271 days remaining in this 2025. The next Friday, we'll have hit triple digits on the odometer here. Just cruising along each and every year. How long that cruise lasts, well,
Nobody. It's a beautiful mystery.
it's a beautiful mystery. This date, 1818, the U.S. Congress affirms that the Second Continental Congress will be adopting the U.S. flag. It is the one that currently is reprised with 13 stripes, although at that point in time it only had 20 stars for the 20 states. This date, 1941. You know who the first president was from the state of Ohio?
You're even giving shark fits over there.
Oh, Shark knows. There's no way he doesn't know.
Is that right?
I would have to imagine that you know.
Taft?
Garfield.
McKinley. Let's just name them all.
Harrison.
Thank you.
Harrison. Oh, my gosh.
He was the ninth president.
The Wayback Machine.
Yeah, well, and he was the first president from Ohio, and he was only president for a month.
That's right.
He was the 9th president of the United States of America, and on this date, he died from pneumonia a month after electing to give his inauguration, or go to his inauguration and not wear an overcoat. He subsequently got sick, passed away. First president to die in office, and then it was taken over by John Tyler to be the 10th president of the United States. This date, 1965, Lincoln visits Richmond, the capital of the Confederacy, a day after it was sacked by the Union Army. 1964. I missed this, Beetle. I missed this. 19.
You didn't miss it. You said 1965, Abe Lincoln, and you meant 18.
I did mean 1865. I apologize on that, folks. No, because people will get after me when I just misspeak, and I apologize for that. That was 1865. 1964, the Beatles are the first band to occupy all top 5 spots on the Billboard 100, Sharky.
Can't buy me love, love, can't buy me love, I'll buy you love.
You know what? Charlie Sheen said you can buy love.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know why the Beatles said you can't buy love, Shark.
Well, things changed between then and when
I don't
Charlie
know.
was
Even then,
saying
you
it.
probably could have still bought some love.
It's one of the oldest professions in the world.
It really is, selling love. This is tomorrow, but I do think it was always pertinent to throw this out. On April 5th, 1967, Wilt Chamberlain sets the NBA record with 41 rebounds at the time. Yeah, big time for Wilt at that point. 1968, a dark day in U.S. history. Bono sang about it in Pride. Martin Luther King Jr., the day after I've been to the mountaintop speech, is assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee.
Direct from our newsroom in Washington, Walter Cronkite.
Good evening. Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee. Police have issued an all-points bulletin for a well-dressed young white man seen running from the scene. Dr. King was standing on the balcony of a second-floor hotel room tonight when a shot was fired from across the street. In the friend's words, the bullet exploded in his face. Police, who have been keeping a close watch over the Nobel Peace Prize winner because of Memphis' turbulent racial situation, were on the scene almost immediately.
Tough day in America.
Really tough.
Yeah. And, terrible situation there. And I had no idea about that in Memphis. My agent lived there, and I never even really thought about it. He goes, it was a big deal, obviously a huge deal, still to this day in Memphis, Tennessee. Some more positive news, though. This date, 1974, Hammer and Hank Aaron ties Babe Ruth's record at 714 for the all-time home run king.
3-1 pitch. There's a drive into left field. That ball is going, and out of here. Henry Aaron has just tied Babe Ruth in the all-time home run parade. The crowd is up. As you would expect, a standing ovation. His teammates are there to greet him. A 3-run blast by Henry Aaron has tied the great Babe Ruth. The record they said that couldn't be reached has just been reached by Henry Aaron.
That's only been broken one time since that.
That's right, Beam.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you a little story about that day?
Let's hear it.
The Rads were at home for that game at Riverfront when Hank hit his 714th against Jack Billingham. They had a 3-game series, and Aaron sat out the next 2 games because they wanted him to break that record in Atlanta, which he did on April 8th. I'm sure Bob will have that next week. But really interesting because the commissioner stepped in and
Is that Bud Selig?
No, it was
Gary Bettman.
No,
Gary Bettman.
It was Bowie Kuhn. He was going to force Aaron to play
Load management
in the rest of those games in Cincinnati, which would have been really stupid. But hey, whatever. I was in the 8th grade listening to that game on a little transistor radio in study hall when he hit that homer.
Did you get out of your seat?
I
and
love that
cheer?
you were listening
didn't.
to radio in school.
Yeah. I had it like tucked in my shirt.
Did you have
this
like
little transistor.
a headphone? Oh my
An
God.
AirPod?
Yeah, no, it wasn't an AirPod. It was just an
So your
earphone.
teacher didn't know that we're going to get
It was
into
study hall, Bob.
Oh, okay.
It was study hall.
All right.
I think that matters. We'll get into that more later. This day, 1975, Microsoft is founded by Paul Allen and Bill Gates. It turned out pretty well for him.
Yeah, it did.
50-year anniversary of that. Some birthdays today. The original coach turning 81, Craig T. Nelson.
We haven't beaten one with ice in the 5 years I've been coaching. There are 10,000 people out there. I don't think you're going to do it tonight. There's 37 people in this room who know we can. That's you, and that's me. In the next 48 minutes, we're going to find out who you are and what you're made out of. And you're going to make me proud. Your friends, your family, your parents, your school, this town. A win tonight is going to give them something to be proud of, something they can believe in. How are we going to do it? Together! 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 We're going to win together!
Just looks like a coach.
It's amazing. And that I thought he was going to pull something from the show Coach, but that was him when he was coaching Ampipe. Shark and I were talking about it yesterday. All the Right Moves, really the movie that catapulted Tom Cruise's career, because I think after that he did Risky Business.
Yep, that's right.
Not mistaken. But it's great. It takes place in like Pennsylvania, like rural Pennsylvania,
steel town,
West Virginia, Pennsylvania area.
Yep, downtrodden steel
Ampipe.
factories. Yeah,
There's a great line in there about Pollock's Shark. I don't know if you remember it.
yeah among other things. Yeah.
Among other things.
In that speech that he just
is
gave.
Elizabeth Shue in that?
No, it's Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson, who I also love.
She got topless in that movie.
That's great. That was Shark's favorite
I'll
part. Robert Downey Jr. turning at 60 today. The Iron Man.
Well, good, because that would be I'm just not the hero type, clearly. Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Such a great delivery by him. Do you know when that movie came out, Beam?
Mid 2000s.
I mean, it was 2008.
I was gonna say it's not quite 20 years, but it's closing in on.
But
it.
it's getting there. I mean, it's wild. I mean, that was his comeback.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
I mean, he's done well since then. Lost another legend, but today was his birthday. Born on this day, 1979, from one of the great roles of all time, the Joker from The Dark Knight, Mr. Heath Ledger.
You want to know how I got these scars? My father was a drinker and a fiend. And one night, he goes off crazier than usual. Mommy gets the kitchen knife to defend herself. He doesn't like that. Not one bit. So, me watching, he takes the knife to her, laughing while he does it. He turns to me and he says, "Why so serious?" He sticks the blade in my mouth. Let's put a smile on that face.
Oh, no. I mean, we could have pulled something from 10 Things I Hate About You. That would have been much more uplifting, Shark.
Broke back.
But you just instead pull that, which was a great piece of acting by him. And it was so great that it led to his demise. Passing away on this day, as I mentioned earlier, 1841, William Henry Harrison, 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. It is some holidays observances. It's Jeep 4x4 day, because if you're driving off-road, you might need a boat or a 4x4. I'm not sure which. It's Kid Yoga Day. It's NATO Day. It's Vitamin C Day. And it is Tell a Lie Day, which let's not do that.
No.
Let's try to be honest, Shark.
Yeah.
And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays observances for this date, April 4th. The 94th day of the year, 271 days remaining in this 2025.
Good job on that, Bob, as always. New offensive line coach with the Buckeyes, Tyler Bowen, doesn't want any mixed messaging coming from him and his staff. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
We are watching an issue on 670 eastbound this morning. We've got lanes blocked off going eastbound right at 4th Street through that downtown stretch. Expect to be slow moving as crews clear out over there. Also watching flooding concerns, especially on State Route 104 in both directions, right around Jackson Pike. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics. Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Don't let life get in the way of what's most important. Visit shelterinsurance.com to learn more. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get mulch ready for the season. Now through April 5th, get 5 bags of red, black, or brown mulch for just $10.95. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your yard with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, greener, greener, better.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Tomorrow.
Nearly 90% of Ohio's children grow up, learn, and dream at one of our public schools. As lawmakers continue to hammer out the new state budget, they must make sure the school funding formula reflects what it actually costs to provide a great education for everyone. Tell your lawmakers to keep their promise to Ohio's kids.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're watching more rain as we head into this Friday. The heavy showers push out this morning, but we'll see an additional round as we head through this evening and into tonight. Flooding concerns will remain a possibility throughout the day, so use caution and avoid those areas of high water. Temperatures will be in the 50s back to the 70s on Saturday. Some storms could be possible. Flooding concerns will stick around through early Sunday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
Hey, Baba, why don't you fire a number at us here early on this Friday?
Oh, let's fire off, I don't know, Beam. Let's say 4 for the margin of defeat last night for the Jackets.
All right, caller number 4 right now, 614-821-9710. You get in, you talk to Shark. You're going to be getting a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Buckeyes playing the spring game Saturday, April 12th. That's next Saturday, 8 days away from right now. Catch the Buckeyes compete on the field as Coach Day brings a full game day atmosphere and a chance to cheer on the reigning national champions. Tickets start at $8 and are on sale now at ohiostatebuckeyes.com. 614-821-9710. You get into Shark as caller number 4. You're walking away with a 4-pack of tickets to the spring game next weekend. How was practice yesterday?
It was good.
I saw you tweeting out that it was fiery. Guys fighting for spots.
The young guys, I say the young guys, the guys who haven't played much, and some of them are older, some of them are young, but they're all out there trying to find some air, find some oxygen, and they're battling for space. And Ryan, they just started doing some move the field stuff where it's incorporating a lot of different situations. So you've got to be able to get in and out of calls as a young player. Think about, hey, it's first down, now it's second down. Maybe it's first again. Maybe it's third and short. Maybe it's third and long. Second long, second short. Like however many yards you gain, that's what the next situation is going to be like. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're starting on your own 10. Maybe you're starting on the 50. And so Ryan just was throwing stuff out there with that, and then letting the guys mix it up a little bit and take them all the way to the ground. Like you've got to at some point figure out who can stand in the pocket.
Well, you want to protect your guys as much as you can, but at some points you got to get some live bullets.
This is the dichotomy of it. Like you don't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah.
But also, like being a parent, if you do everything for your child and never let them fail, you'll never know what they can be. So you eventually have to let them out there and be like, all right, guys, we're taking the bubble wrap off.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do a little live action. We've got to
can't be the kid from the Little Giants, and cellophane wrap.
100%. And that goes for defensive players too. Like you got to make sure, like, hey, I know we've got a I got him situation when you're close to tackling, but good running backs and receivers, like they're going to run through some tackles as well. So you've just got to work on that. And I think Ryan's done a great job of kind of handling the spring, of kind of mixing in the different tempos of what you need to do to be able to get stuff done, but then also find a way to challenge yourself and see ultimately what you can do.
We was offensive line day yesterday over at the Woody, and I think this is it's kind of been a message from the coaching staff, and it all started back in really that kind of second press conference that Ryan Day was having during spring ball, and he was just talking about how the message funneling, right? Remember that? When he was talking about how, it's going to start up here. And
I used to talk about the beer funneling. Where you put the beer in the funnel with the hose.
Well, that's tonight, big dog. That's Friday, or that's next Saturday.
Or it could have been last night.
It could have been. It was a pretty nice night out last night. You could have done whatever you wanted to. But I think he was talking about Brian Hartline and how he's got a lot of people to lean on, and how, maybe a message starts up here, and then by the time that it gets to the quarterback on the field, it's kind of gone through all these channels, and it's been dissected, and it's been communicated to them properly. And Tyler Bowen was kind of expanding on that yesterday, how he does not want any mixed messaging from him and his staff talking to his guys, and I thought this was a really good answer from him.
I'm glad you asked that. That's been very important to us to make sure that we have one voice. I think what Coach Day has structured here, we have a chance to have the best offensive line resources in the country for those guys. But it all starts with myself, making sure that we install. We got to have our own little staff, if you will, right? So we meet, install from under direction of Coach Hartline, right? We get on the same page. This is exactly how we teach a down block. This is exactly how we teach a gap gap drive. This is exactly how we're teaching a combo on the backside of the inside zone, whatever the case may be. But we get on the same page. We make sure that gets messaged. When in the meeting room, it's one voice first. Before we ever, meet on the side, meet extra, it's one voice first. And I think what makes it work is you got three guys with not big egos. Like our goal is to serve the players and to make sure that they're the best versions of themselves. And I think you've got that group in that room that has that mentality. So it's been awesome. I think the guys would say that it's been a huge resource for them. The amount of reps we're able to get in a practice setting and also detailed reps, right? I've got one set of eyes. So having multiple set of eyes, we're able to coach live time, try to make corrections at practice. So that part's been fun. And I think it's been better than we expected.
One voice first. Kind of the mantra for them. I like it, man.
Yeah.
It's got to be, listen.
Well, that's what you have to have is uniformity of message, like you talked about. And
of course.
You meet together as a big staff, and you meet together as little staff, and split it up, and then you meet together, with their position group. They have the offensive line has their own staff, basically, and that's kind of what you need. You've got 5 positions, the biggest position group in the field, and it's the one that everybody's got to work, and be all synced up to be able to have success. So, yeah, you've got to make sure that when everybody's talking and Coach A is talking to player B and, Coach C is talking to player A and everybody's communicating out there that what they're saying all sounds the same and you're using the same terminology and you're trying to articulate the same thing to each and everybody.
Yeah, and to your point, you guys have talked about this before being linebackers. Like when you're making calls, like, I don't know if this is the right call, but whatever. I don't know if I heard the coaches right, but if everybody's going to be wrong, we're going to be wrong together, which sometimes you
You're all
do.
wrong, you're right.
Correct. And it's so easy, Bob, and you know this, on the offensive line. Like if one player is wrong, God forbid 2 players are wrong, it will destroy you, especially at that position.
As long as everybody's doing the same thing, it may not be the best thing to be in, but if everybody's doing the same thing and has viewing the same picture on the same call, then you have a chance, at least, Beam, to have a winning play. But if you have half the guys doing one thing, half the guys doing another, with how they're viewing the blocking scheme, of how they've identified the middle linebacker, or what they decided to do on any given play, you're going to have guys that are free. It's going to be a mess, and then you're going to have problems.
Absolutely. Big problems for you. Congratulations to Frank from London. He knew he needed to be caller number 4. He's going to go see the Buckeyes play in the spring game next Saturday. Hey, remember when Phil Castellini from the Reds said, "Where else are you going to go?" a couple of years ago? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
I didn't think the Bengals would take that to heart. That's in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
We are watching an issue on 670 eastbound this morning. We've got lanes blocked off going eastbound right at 4th Street through that downtown stretch. Expect to be slow moving as crews clear out over there. Also watching flooding concerns, especially on State Route 104 in both directions, right around Jackson Pike. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Well, here we are again, and I got to tell you, Jim, this match has me really concerned.
Here we have a powerful heavyweight, a train, weighing in at 6,000 tons. And this hasty lightweight challenger, a car, at just 1.5 tons.
This does not bode well for the car or the people in it.
It's no contest. Every day, people are injured or killed trying to beat a train at rail crossings. See tracks, think train.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
What's the going rate for a good babysitter? Also, Shark needs a raise. You're listening to Morning Juice.
1 hour away from right now, Austin Ward. He's going to join the program. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him. I love how the young dudes are getting after it, man. That's good.
Young dudes being dudes.
You had mentioned, the kind of the fight for oxygen with the Buckeyes. And you have to think, man, I mean, I know we've talked about it a lot here this offseason, but you know the names, right? I mean, you know these guys' names. They have played here before on this current version, this roster. You just haven't seen them a whole lot. And they've been stymied by opportunities. Not to say that last spring or last training camp or the training camps that they've been in here before, some of these practices, they haven't fought for that oxygen. There was less oxygen to fight for. And now all of a sudden,
it's open air.
It's like you're returning from space, man. You pop off that space helmet and you get back down and you're breathing just straight up oxygen again.
Yeah.
Earth oxygen.
Oh, it's big time. There's a lot of space there, a lot of opportunities. And so these guys, you look in the secondary. You got Jordan Hancock leaving.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Lathan Ransom leaving. So you've got 3-4 guys vying for those spots.
Denzel's leaving.
And, Caleb hasn't been practicing a ton. Ryan's talked about how he's been limited. And so you get these young guys out there. And so there's a leadership element that is going to have to happen, a communication element. And so you have Hartford and McLean and these guys kind of battling it out and both playing together, making plays. And it's just fun when they're out there, just how their confidence has kind of been elevated because now you feel like you're more the guy. Like going into that first spring, knowing we're like, hey, I'm one of the guys. Like I'm somebody out here that is expected to make plays and do big things and help direct traffic. It's a pretty great feeling. But with that comes, the expectations of, hey, I'm going to be Mr. Big Chest out here, but I'm going to have to go perform. And when I get beat, like they're going to be looking at me like, hey, bud, this can't be happening. You cannot be making these mistakes or these lapses because you've got to be the guy for us.
Yeah, you can do it a couple of times. But I think even Ryan said with us when he was on a couple of days ago, right? Like it's all about learning in the process, and we kind of expect you to fail a little bit. But at the end of the day, you need to succeed more times than not, and you need to learn from those mistakes and continue to grow as a player.
Well, and the thing is, too, with it, I tell guys, I made a mistake. Good. That's why we're at practice.
Yeah.
If you didn't make any mistakes, then in the same sense, you wouldn't need to come here. Just show up on the games. Here's the game plan, show up and go play. So there is a learning curve that's going to happen. It's not always the easiest thing. You're going to make some mistakes, but be aggressive with it and don't make the same mistake twice, Beam.
Does anybody know when the lease at Paycor Stadium ends for the Bengals? Does anybody here know the answer to this question?
I don't know, August 8th?
The lease at Paycor Stadium will expire June 30th of 2026. So my math is right. That's about, 14 months away from right now.
There we go.
15 months away. Unless they exercise an option to extend it by 2 years before June 30th of this year. So I got an option on the table to extend that. Now, we know the Bengals have been trying to push things through between themselves and Hamilton County, getting taxpayer dollars to be able to fund some things and get some upgrades to the stadium. Now, I think they have upgraded it a little bit over the years. It's been years since I've been down to a Bengals game, been years since I've been down to Paul Brown Stadium. But Katie Blackburn.
It's not called Paul Brown anymore.
No, it's called Paycor Stadium.
Paycor.
Darn it. You're right.
Is it Precor Stadium?
No, but it's kind of has that feeling to it. Now, take this with a grain of salt, maybe, but it is still on the table.
I like salt.
Team Executive Vice President Katie Blackburn was asked about the status of the lease during the recent league meetings, and I feel like this went way under the radar. Said we play it day by day. And like everything else, we just continue to have discussions to see where things are and then have to make decisions at the appropriate time, talking about the status of the lease, okay? Again, the dates on this, June 30th, 2026, that's when their lease expires at Paycor Stadium. They have an option to extend it by 2 years coming June 30th of this year. Said we could, this is what Katie Blackburn said, we could, I guess, go wherever we wanted after this year if we didn't pick up the option. So, we'll see. Like I said, all these things will be done in due course. We are having discussions, and so we're hopeful that the county is thinking about it a lot too and wants to get it addressed in a way that would be beneficial to both of us. We love where we are. Our stadium obviously needs to continue to be maintained appropriately.
By you.
And you want to keep it at a certain level. That's important, just so we're competitive with others. That's a pretty loaded comment right there. We could, I guess, go wherever we wanted to after this year if we didn't pick the option up.
I mean, Beam, what do you think about the Cincinnati Bengals playing at Welcome Stadium? How does that hit you?
Oh, that sounds great, man. That's one of America's gems.
It really
of
is.
A stadium.
It's like the righteous gemstones.
I don't even know. Is it still called Welcome Stadium, or do they find someone to
find somebody that's? I've played in Welcome Stadium.
I have played on Welcome.
I played on Welcome Stadium when it was AstroTurf.
Yeah, me too.
The OG.
Yeah.
The fact that you were still playing and it was still AstroTurf.
Straight up turf burn, baby. You want to talk about a terrible experience? Maybe the worst experience getting in the shower after doing anything. I was up there. The turf burn on the actual AstroTurf, awful. It is still called Welcome Stadium, by the way.
It's a bumpy situation there. I played there against played Dayton Meadowdale.
Okay.
It wasn't Meadowdale.
That's where my dad went.
It's Dayton Patterson, which is where Judy Hawk went, mother of Aaron James. And it was pouring rain, kind of a situation like yesterday.
Absolutely no traction.
It was freezing cold. I was playing in my basketball shoes from the year before because, I mean, it was AstroTurf. Like, what do we wear?
Gym shoes.
I was wearing, basketball shoes. And here's the best part. I don't think they have a water heater in there, so they had 5 showers afterwards, or the water heater was a 10-gallon tank. But I was a true freshman. As if I could have got redshirted in high school anyway.
Well, you never know with eligibility rules nowadays.
So they
didn't Schleich 5 in high school?
Yeah, I think he did. And so I was the last to get in the shower. There was no warm water. It was freezing, and then we had that nice bus ride back to Lancaster, Ohio.
You guys win?
We did win.
Okay.
I got my first interception there.
Nice.
But there was probably all of 400 people in the stands, and 385 of them were people from Lancaster that drove over to watch their kids play.
I think AJ's played at Welcome Stadium?
Yeah. We played there on a Saturday afternoon, too. It was awful. I mean, it was huge. It's big. There's nobody there, and the facilities were not great, and the weather was even worse.
I think all 3 times that I've played there, Braxton beat us all 3 times. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so you guys have played there in the playoffs?
Yeah, we would do that our last year in high school. Yeah, we played in, I don't know, the regional finals or whatever. It was a chance to get to the Final Four. Yeah, we played them. They beat us. And then back in Pee Wee. So they had made the switch. It was field turf by that time, but we played a couple of games in our Pee Wee playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And in not middle school. I don't think we had playoffs in middle school. Yeah, so we would play that in every single time, just straight up field burn.
You'll love that. That nice. Here's the one thing. It's almost like getting sanded, It takes that top layer of skin right off. And it's like seeing the Earth's crust, because you got on the outside, you can kind of see the layers of skin that you dive down through. As it gets to the middle, it just gets it's like light pink, then a darker pink, then deep pink, then to the middle of a grapefruit there as you really get to the flesh part of it, get to some of the meat in there.
And then you just get the bone.
And then, if you get in the right spot, you might be able to see a little bone in there. And, it's a great way to get a good infection, Bean.
Shout out to Todd in the YouTube chat. So playing for UD for 4 years is rough on the joints. I bet.
Oh, and that field and the AstroTurf was just rolled over concrete.
Yeah, I don't think it was rolled over concrete. It was just rolled over concrete.
I don't know if there was any padding, if you will, that they put underneath there.
Don't you think that's a pretty loaded comment? I mean, that's a lot of public pressure that Katie Blackburn's put on the city. Hey, we could just go somewhere else. That would be nasty. And by the way, I don't know if the state would let you leave because, again, the Art Modell law that Shark is very aware of, Crew fans are very aware of.
It's honestly a great law that was put into place. So I guess they could go anywhere. Like I said, Welcome Stadium sounds terrific this time of year.
We're leaving Paycor and we're going to Welcome Stadium.
The Zanesville Bengals, Shark. What are your thoughts? Portsmouth used to have an NFL team.
Portsmouth did. Toledo, the Akron Pros. Yeah, a lot of Ohio's. Did you say Toledo? Did I say Toledo?
You said Toledo.
Dayton Triangles.
Dayton Triangles. What about
They played at Welcome Stadium.
The Columbus Panhandlers?
How about the Ohio Glory from the old USFL?
Oh, yeah. Played at the Shoe.
There you go.
What about the Columbus Destroyers?
Beam doesn't even know about the Ohio Glory.
You know who the head coach was?
Of the
Ohio Glory?
Ohio Glory.
Matt Nagy?
A guy by the name of Earl Bruce.
Really?
No, that was indoor, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the Destroyers.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have a
Who
Wikipedia.
was the...
One of my dad's friends.
What about, Bob,
had an Ohio Glory shirt they used to wear all
I
the
thought
time.
you were going to say an Ohio Glory tattoo. Like, that's even would be
that would have
even
been
better.
That might have been a little aggressive. The shirt may have been enough.
Larry Little was the coach of the Glory.
Larry Little, the old Miami Dolphins lineman?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, he was.
I don't even remember that.
Their
but
first
I didn't
pick
attend
was
the...
Babe Laufenberg. That is amazing because he did TV with the Cowboys down there in Dallas. He ended up playing for the Cowboys later in his career. Their sole win came at the expense of the Frankfurt Galaxy.
Wait a minute. That's an NFL Europe team.
Well, though they had teams in NFL Europe, but the Ohio Glory, I mean, it was called
the Frankfurt Galaxy, Bob.
What did the USFL stand for, Shark?
I don't know.
Well, I would think United States Football
League, but they weren't part of the USFL.
No, they were part of the World Football League.
They played at Barcelona.
Yeah, Dean, think about this. I mean, the great cities of the world: Barcelona, Frankfurt,
Montreal,
Columbus, Ohio. And this isn't even Columbus, Ohio, circa 2025. This is Columbus, Ohio, back in 1990.
That's when we were running street races with Indy cars.
That's right. People here were mad about it that they called them the Ohio Glory instead of the Columbus Glory.
Good. Is that where the crew chant?
The Ohio Glory holes, maybe. I mean, that could have been.
Is that where the crew chant "Glory to Columbus" came from?
Maybe.
Is it just an old offshoot of the football team?
Kurt Warner played in that league.
It's remarkable.
Whatever happened
Being
to
the
that
things
league?
it lasted like 2 years, I think. The Glory played their home games, the seating capacity at the Ohio Stadium. That's remarkable.
So there you go. Maybe the Bengals could move to Columbus, the Columbus Bengals, and play at the Horseshoe.
I mean, who thought it was a good? They played in the North American East Division, so I'm guessing there was like a European division in North American West. Travel now, they're talking about flying to Europe and how that's bad. Like back then, they're just going to fly. That's part of the game's built in.
Well, the Concorde was still a thing back then.
I don't think they were probably flying on the Concorde. They may have been on.
I don't know if they were flying at all. They may have been
Indiana
taking
Jones
a tugboat
hopped on those
over.
cargo planes.
You guys going over to Europe anytime soon? Cool. We'll schedule a game. Bill Belichick might be having a tough time adjusting to the college game. We'll do that in Quick Hitters next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and a happy Friday to you. Flooding concerns this morning on the south side. 104 blocked off between Jackson Pike and Dyer Road because of high water. And the same situation down in Asheville on State Route 752 just east of 23. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like early pay. Moving up payday so you could get your money faster. Up to 2 days faster. And there's no cost. It's your money, right? So stop playing the waiting game. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney. Direct deposit and eligibility requirements apply.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black Jacques. Jacques, where are you today?
In Columbus, how?
You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmans.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump chick.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding this. Zoom pump check. Sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check? Yes, of course. A sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your zoom pump.
They test your, what is it again?
Zoom pump.
Some pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Cosby Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
In high school, Bobby was a district swimming finalist. Also, Beamer still wears floaties. This is Morning Juice.
Well, Friday edition of the program. Having a great time here. Sharky, happy Friday.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JustSports for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
You got planned this weekend. What are you up to?
Me?
Yeah.
Get drunk and eat drugs?
I got to go Pia's birthday party tomorrow.
No, you get to go to Pia's birthday party.
I get to go to Ashland on Sunday.
Mom was waiting. How about, but it's going to be raining. You're not going to be able to work outside.
Every weekend. I'm not working outside. I'm visiting Mom in the rehab center. She's been there for a month now.
Rehab on her nose?
Then I'm heading to Arizona.
Oh, that's right. You're on vacation next. This is a great Friday for you.
You're on vacation next week.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
What are you going to do in Arizona? We'll get to that.
Maybe we'll talk about that in What Has You Juiced, because it does have me juiced. You know, Paul Feinbaum of ESPN and the SEC Network made his usual appearance on Bishop and Friends yesterday. At some point, the topic of conversation focused on Bill Belichick's foray into college football. Let's just say that Mr. Feinbaum isn't exactly bullish on North Carolina football under Belichick.
I know somebody who was there at a fairly important position recently and talked to Belichick and Mike Lombardi, his GM. And, the quiet conversation is that Belichick is somewhat clueless about college football. He's a fairly good recruiter because he is Bill Belichick, but Lombardi is doing most of the operation. The one positive for Belichick is that the ACC is really at low ebb. Clemson is good. Speaking of buzz, Cape Klubnik and Clemson probably is not getting enough. I think they're a top 10 team. After that, who knows in that league? It's a little hard to figure out. So if he can steal a game somewhere, he can. I mean, what he's trying to do is be relevant on the cusp of the playoffs. And another thing I heard from a scout this week who was at North Carolina's Pro Day, he said that Mac Brown left that program with absolutely nothing. They had a couple of really good quarterbacks that matriculated in the NFL, but that was it. His last couple of years, he completely checked out, which creates bigger issues for Belichick now than maybe if Mac had done his job.
Yeah, Bob, that's probably the biggest problem. Everybody knows that Belichick's going to be able to coach him up. It's just the cupboard's kind of bare right now.
Who's he coaching? They said he's been doing a good job recruiting. I think they have a plan of how to recruit. And I talked to Patricia about this, of kind of what they had done and kind of studied the college game. The best thing they said going for him is what Paul mentioned. They don't play anybody that's really that much better.
Their schedule is. So
outside of Clemson, like if you can find a way to be rolling into your final two games at like 8-2, like you've got a chance you'll be in the mix in the ACC. And by the way, you get an auto bid if you win.
You open up the season against TCU, okay? So that's not going to be an easy game. TCU, good football program.
Well, they weren't great last year.
No, but they did make a college football playoff a few years ago. They did.
I don't think. I will tell you this. I don't think talent-wise TCU is going to be significantly better than North Carolina.
All right. So again, you have TCU to open up the season. Then you play Charlotte. You play Richmond. You play UCF. Scott Frost back at UCF. Correct? That happened this year.
Yeah.
Then you get Clemson. You do get Clemson at home though, so that's nice for them. On the road against Cal. Home against Virginia. God knows what they're going to be like in a year-in, year-out basis. Syracuse, okay. Stanford just fired their coach, hired Frank Reich. At Wake, and then Duke, NC State. It's not crazy.
Yeah, Duke should be all right. I mean, you think
Syracuse is fine.
Syracuse is they're with Fran up there, they're doing a pretty good job, but they don't have Kyle McCord this year. Like Ohio State didn't let a quarterback go, so they don't have that. I think SMU is probably the second most talented team.
They don't play SMU.
They don't play SMU. No. So, like, if he can find a way this year, being to get to 8-4,
I think that would be a pretty.
I think you have momentum going into year two.
I also don't think that's very much out of the realm of possibility.
I think that's realistic, to tell you the truth. So they have a shot at it.
Yeah, and again, I mean, this all comes down to roster building, and a lot of teams find themselves with having to rebuild their entire roster, and Bill Belichick's doing that in year one.
4 years ago, quarterback Geno Smith was just trying to hang on to his NFL career. Now he's making $35 million a year.
Trying to hang on to that bag. It's so heavy.
From 2018 to 2020, he didn't start a single game. Got 3 starts in 2021 with the Seahawks, and then Seattle traded Russ. And suddenly, Geno was the starter, went 27-22 over the past 3 years, made a couple Pro Bowls. Now he is the Raiders' starting quarterback. He is getting a 2-year, $75 million extension, which means he's now under contract, Beamer, for 3 years and $106 million. Not bad for a guy who not long ago made 2 starts in a span of 5 years.
Honestly, great for him. That is a great story in perseverance. It could be just a career backup, and we talk about it all the time. Coaches talk about it, and it comes off as coach speak, but it's really not. When your opportunity comes up, you got to be ready to go. And you know what? Geno Smith was working in the dark when nobody was watching, and then a situation happened where, okay, I get to start, and he took full advantage of that. In his 3 years as starter, Sharkey had mentioned, I mean, he went for 4,200 yards, 3,700 yards, 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 20 touchdowns, 21 touchdowns. That's pretty darn good, pretty impressive. And you know what? Now he gets his bag. Big congratulations to him.
The Raiders need stability at that position. He's going to give them that. Is he the best quarterback in the NFL? No, but he's not the worst. And so he's going to give you consistency in there. You know what you're getting with him. He's done a good job of resurrecting his career by managing games and not losing them and giving your team a chance to win. And there's a place for those guys. And thankfully for him, the inflation in the quarterback market, what he's getting paid is commensurate with where he's at. The top guys get 45 to 50 million. So for him to get mid-30s, like, okay.
Yeah, that sounds
a deal.
about right.
That's a deal for the Raiders, and he probably feels pretty good about it.
The Jackets had a rough time last night. Let's
not
next.
talk about it.
Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. A couple spots we're watching road closures due to high water. 104 in both directions from Jackson Pike to Dyer Road. Watch for crews blocking over there. And then down in Asheville on 752, just east of 23, we've also got roads blocked off because of high water. Make it a great day and a great weekend. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where our erectile dysfunction treatments are shown to be effective in nearly 90% of cases. Listen to what Alex has to say about our ED treatments.
I have been experiencing problems with ED, but that's all changed. My name's Alex, and I've been a patient for Tri-State Men's Health for under a year. I highly recommend this. Every day I wake up feeling good compared to I was back in the old days. It change is more exciting. You know, I don't have a problem with ED anymore. I'm having a lot more fun. I was very comfortable. I was always comfortable in any conversation I had with Tri-State Men's Health. Yeah, I just want to let gentlemen out there know that you do not have to live with ED, that it is not just an aging process. It is also hormonal and balance and everything in your system. And once you get that under control and everything, you do go back to your youth a lot in how you feel.
Thanks, Alex. It's true. If you're like most men, we'll help you get your sex life back. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Hey, Ohio State fans. While others cut corners, you know, like that team up north, Valvoline Instant Oil Change is Buckeye-level quality. We train hard and treat every day like game day. We're always quick, but never rushed. And you can stay in your car while our experts do the work. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit valvoline.com/Buckeyes to find your nearest location and access exclusive fan savings.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Feeling unsure about preparing your roof for spring storms? Newman Roofing is here for you. For over 30 years, we've helped homeowners understand their roof's condition so they can make the best decision for their home. Stop worrying and call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman Roof.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
When your sump pump is no longer sumping and pumping, please don't become a sump pump grump.
A sump pump grump thinks whacking the pump will make it start working again.
But it never does.
Get Eco.
ECO. A sump pump grump will let a faulty sump pump completely ruin a perfectly good day.
Fortunately, I've invented a solution.
No more sump pump grump?
No more sump pump grump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Tell me about it, Jerry.
The solution is that you get Eco to do a sump pump inspection.
What would that include?
We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear.
How much?
That's up to you, Aaron.
Jerry, Eco would be happy to do that for just $89.
That's a great price.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. When Boone Jenner scored at 7:56 of the second period, the Blue Jackets took a 3-2 lead over Colorado, but things fell apart for Columbus after that. The Avalanche scored 5 goals in a span of 13 minutes, 10 seconds to stun the Jackets 7-3. Cale Makar, Nathan McKinnon, and Charlie Coyle each had a goal and 2 assists for the Avs. The Ohio State basketball team has gotten a big man in the transfer portal. 7-foot center Christoph Tilley spent 3 seasons at Santa Clara and will finish his college career at OSU. He averaged 12.5 points and 5 rebounds this season for Santa Clara. In baseball, for the 3rd straight game, the Reds lost by a score of 1-0, this time to the Brewers. In the 3 losses, the Reds have a total of 9 hits, 3 walks, 27 strikeouts, and no runs. This Sports Center is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour 2 for us here on a Friday. Coming up 7:17-ish this morning, Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda. Talk some CBJ with him. And then 7:30 this morning here this hour, Austin Ward. He's going to join the program. We'll talk some Buckeye spring ball with him.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
Hey, Reds made some history yesterday. Got beat by the Brewers 1-0. The second team in the live ball era to lose 3 straight games 1-0. The last time that it happened, you have to date back to the 1960 Phillies. 2 against the Rangers, 1 against the Brewers. Sharky mentioned all the stats there in the updates. 27 strikeouts for these last 3 games. That's, you know what? Positive, Brandon, today. Pitching's been good. Defense has been good.
Pitching's been great.
Yeah, it has. It has been. It's been okay.
Can you imagine giving up 3 runs in 3 games and not getting a W?
Not a single one. Yeah, I saw that stat come down the first time in 65 years. I mean, it was just a few short days ago we were talking about Ellie plating 7 runs and 2 home runs and a 14.
Almost you kind of get that to merge together.
14-run explosion of offense. And the next 3 games, dead.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'd rather be playing better at the end of the season than at the beginning. You can't,
yeah, but
you can't get yourself too far out.
Do you want to dig out of like of a 10-game hole? That doesn't sound good for anybody.
No, it doesn't. It's still early in the season. I don't know. Maybe they need to start using more torpedo bats. They're back at the Brewers tonight at 7:10. Gardo's in action against the Angels at 9:30 this evening. Sharky, weekend series.
Yep.
Gonna be up watching all that?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Of course.
Jackets tough one last night. Shark mentioned in the update it was 3-2. You're feeling pretty good about the situation, and then it became 3-3. And at that point in time, even you were feeling pretty okay about it. But Boone Jenner said that goal right there is kind of where they maybe lost the plot a little bit.
First, second, especially if we played a lot of good hockey, obviously. Just a few errors or mistakes on our end, and they were able to capitalize. And we put, like I said, a lot of good minutes in their zone, and felt like we were going to get back into it. And, they were able to get the 2 in the third before we could have a push, get one and get ourselves back into it.
Here was Dino after the game talking about how the coaches are kind of worried about where this defense is at right now.
Very concerned that we're not dialing in to keep it out of our net. So, yeah, we're very concerned about that. It's our job as coaches to systematically dial it back in and get them to play the right way. At this point in the year, it seems like you shouldn't have to do that. But yeah, there's definitely some mistakes in this hockey game, and we talked about them in the last hockey game, that the pucks shouldn't have went in the net, or we shouldn't have gave them that opportunity to have those scoring chances because of systematically that we did. And you think at this point in the year that, you'd be pretty dialed in, but there's some things that we think maybe is a contributing factor to that. So we'll evaluate it and let this one go.
You go back to March 20th, they allowed one goal to the Panthers, and that goal was in overtime. You go back to the 6-game stretch they've had since then. Penguins put up 6 against them. Islanders put up 3 against them. Canucks put up 6 against them. Senators 3, Preds 4, and then last night the Avs with 7 put against the Blue Jackets. I did see this from Aaron Portzline as well, talking about that game against the Panthers, 1-0 in overtime. Elvis, since that game, has an average of an .843 save percentage and a .511 goals against average.
That doesn't sound very good at all.
It was the first time this year they pulled a goalie. First time that they've made a switch during a game all season long.
And there was a stretch where both of them were playing pretty well. And now
even Jet earlier in the year, they had to use him, and he was playing pretty good.
This doesn't sound all that great, Beam. That sounds actually pretty bad.
Hey, the good news is that you're on the road for a back-to-back this weekend against the Maple Leafs and the Senators.
The Canadian swing. Do you need to go to
Canada to find the game?
To get it right.
I think so. What's better than that, man? Go up to the capital of hockey, beat the Leafs, jump on the Senators, get right back in the playoff race. Now they are 4 points back in the hunt now.
You got a couple wins, though. You're right in it.
Habs beat the Bruins last night 4-1.
You need to get a couple wins.
That's all you need to do. Get back on track. Hopefully this isn't the bad streak that comes up. You need to avoid the bad streak.
That streak is bad.
Yeah. I should be a food critic. This muffin tastes bad.
They've got to find a way to start stacking some wins, man. Like you said, you're a couple games out. You cannot go and have consecutive wins and or consecutive losses, and you really can't even go 1 for 1. You can't go win 1, lose 1. It's got to be a 2-1 scenario here. Every 3 games, you're getting 4 points.
Mm-hmm. Have to do it. So yeah, back-to-back coming up Saturday and Sunday. You can listen to those games right here on The Fan. I got the Final Four this weekend. Those games are going to be on ESPN Columbus tomorrow. Florida against Auburn to start you off. Then the late evening game will be Houston and Duke. Crew in action tomorrow at home against Montreal at 7:30. Should be a nice little night down in the Arena District at Lower.com Field. So that's what we got to look forward to, which is very good. How did you plug in the computer last night?
So we did. Some lights came on.
Okay.
Not all of them. And so I've got it. The thing is, to set it up, you have to have a wired keyboard and a wired mouse. And my buddy, Coach Parker over at Ohio State, he's like, I was like, well, I can order them. He goes, I've got them. He goes, it's the only time you'll ever use them. So don't buy your own. You guys just use mine. But the one cooling system didn't turn on.
The cooling tower.
And that's the one that I was worried, like trying to figure out where the one connection went in. And I think I put it in the CPU2 fan connection beam, and I think it goes in the fan header at the top, and I figured out how to do this. But the problem is now I have to take the graphics card back out, which is one of the bigger, more complex things. And then I also have to take the fans up off the top because I can't plug it in right there. I can't get it out because of the graphics card, and I won't be able to get back where I think it needs to go because of the fans in the roof. So I told
back to the surgery table?
Back to the lab again. And so we're going to get in there. I can take the graphics card out. I said, I told our Jones, I'll take the fan off, and I'm going to need his help to probably get the fan back on, just so he can hold it while I can screw it in. So we'll do that together, and then we'll plug it in. And we may even plug it in without the fan, like being fixed to where it needs to be, just to kind of see what happens.
Something is happening.
I hope that lights up, and then if there's more lights on in there, the better. And I don't know if, one of the things had a red light on it. I don't know if that's good. Uh-oh. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know what that even means. So I'm gonna have to.
Usually, red means bad.
I know that, but you don't understand. Inside this thing, I
don't understand anything about computers.
It's like a color wheel in there, so I don't know if the red is not good or some of the stuff lights up and it's supposed to look sweet. So I don't know if the red is part of its ambiance that it's giving off, or if it is something that means it's not functioning properly.
Shark, if someone were to offer you $10 million to build a PC, think you could do it?
Oh, for $10 million, 100% I'd get this right.
How much
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Shark.
How much time
The
are you
guy
gonna
who
give
was
me?
listening on a transistor radio to Hank Aaron tie Babe Ruth's
That's
home run
serious.
record.
That's what we had back in the
know
day,
you did.
50 years ago.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just stream it, Shark?
No streaming, Bob.
You
I've
didn't
heard,
watch that
I've heard
game?
streaming is the wave of the future.
Wave of the future.
Said it's going to overtake terrestrial radio here in the next couple of years.
So I've heard.
So you mean to tell me you don't think you could put it together?
How much time are you going to give me?
Let's say you get a month.
Oh, I don't think I could do it in a month.
What else are you going to have to do? I'm talking a month starting July 11th. I had this conversation
Wait a
with my
minute,
mom
Bob,
yesterday.
how long has it taken you? And you're
3
computer
months.
savvy.
I am not computer savvy. I said it was easier changing the impeller on my boat off a YouTube video that I was able to get done in like 25 minutes than doing this. But I will say this, I have a lot of other things going on. So it's taken a lot of days, but as far as actual hours, and I don't have like 6 hours to sit down and just devote to it. So it's usually 45 minutes here, an hour there. And the problem is then you have to go back and remember what you've done. And that's part of the issue of it. And so I haven't had a lot of time. But this is what my mom says here. Let's hit a break. What do we got next?
Well, we got Svoboda next.
We'll hit it at 7:30. We'll get into this because I don't want to hear this
That's
nonsense.
when we have
out of you.
Austin Ward.
We got real quickly. I got in this argument with my mom about this because she goes, I have all these obligations that I have to get done. I go, no, you don't.
Gardening club?
Exactly. Master gardening. I go, those are choices of how you choose to spend your time. You have no obligation. You're in a situation now where you and dad have accumulated enough wealth in your life and through pension and things like you have enough, you have everything that you need paid for, and you have enough money to buy all the food that you need to survive for your sustenance and all of the entertainment you need. Everything that you do is a choice at this point. I have to go to work to be able to provide for my family and have insurance and all these other things. I mean, to a degree. But I go, you don't have to do anything. You can literally sit there and get drunk all day and watch TV and never leave your house and just order food to you to come in. Hell, you could probably pay someone to feed you.
Yeah.
Okay?
You could.
So don't tell me you have to do anything. And show Shark, on July 12th, you won't have to do anything. I have a cruise coming up. You don't have to go on the cruise. That's a choice. I'm
Bob,
going to Ireland. Okay.
Why would I need to build a computer when I can buy one? They're cheap now. I can buy one for a couple hundred.
But it's like anything else. You can build one for half the cost if you can buy one. And if you want to do one that's like super sweet, then it would be like these things, these gaming computers are $6,000 to $10,000. So you can build one for half of that, and you could give it to Hey Jude. Don't call me Julian.
Okay.
I think he'd enjoy that. He'd play some World of Warcraft, him and Mike McDaniel, mix it up together.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. Hey, we're riding the Blue Jackets roller coaster right now. Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda. He's going to talk about him next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Flooding concerns in a couple spots. 752 down in Asheville east of 23. Watch for crews over there. And 104 is blocked off in both directions as well between Dyer Road and Jackson Pike. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Spring into a new vehicle at Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Luxury, power, and adventure, all waiting for you. Explore our vast selection of exquisite Mercedes-Benz, the all-new rugged Ineos Grenadier, and the powerful lineup of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. Crown Automotive Group in Dublin is the only dealership in Columbus awarded a J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. Visit Crown Automotive Group of Dublin on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Crown Automotive Group, the better way to buy.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1 Customize approval workflows and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. April's a great time to spruce up around your house, like getting rid of those old, ugly, drafty, hard-to-open windows and starting fresh. Especially during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now. There's no limit to how much you could save, and if you buy a house full of windows, they'll include a free entry door, too. Plus, with 0% financing, 0 down, and no monthly payments, you could get new windows and pay nothing until 2027. How do they do it? Well, Window Nation partners with the top window manufacturers in the nation to build windows to their high-quality specs. Then they pass the savings on to you. You'll protect your home with some of the best windows you can buy at a fraction of the price of those other brands. Just imagine what you could do with all that extra money. Hurry, the sale ends soon, so don't miss your chance to take advantage of the Buy 4, Get 4 free and pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now at 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com. One more time, that's Buy 4, Get 4 free from Window Nation, 866-90NATION or windownation.com.
You can catch all the Final Four action on 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fans HD2.
Live coverage from San Antonio starts Saturday at 4.
Your home of the Final Four. 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan.
We plant trees because people need trees, and when planted in the right place, they have great impact. Trees help slow climate change, filter our air and water, foster biodiversity, and strengthen our communities. They create the kind of transformational change the world needs now. April is a month filled with opportunities to care for and plant trees. For planting resources, contact an Ohio ISA certified arborist who can help you learn how to take the best care of your trees. Visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're watching more showers move out this morning, but they'll be back by this afternoon and evening. Flooding concerns remain possible throughout the day, so use caution on roads and avoid areas that typically collect water. Temperatures will be in the 50s today, making their way back to the 70s tomorrow. Showers and storms again possible on Saturday. Flooding concerns will continue through early Sunday, so stay weather aware. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. If you make a wisecrack about Dayton pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
Hey, coming up here 7:30 this morning, Austin Ward, he's going to join the program. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him. As for now, though, let's talk a little CBJ.
Morning Juice presents Talking Jackets.
Now it's Boone Jenner along the end boards, and he stuffs it behind Peter Mrazek for the score.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Every Friday at this time, we head out to the hotline, checking with our guy. He is Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda. Jeffrey, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Where did it go wrong for the Blue Jackets last night? Jeff, you're feeling good. You were up 3-2, right?
Yeah, the pivot man. When did it all go bad, Jeffrey?
Well, the 5 straight goals for Colorado.
that was a low point, I would say.
Yeah, that was the tough part. Through 30 minutes, I thought they played pretty well. They obviously we're winning 3-2. They had their legs. They were winning battles and doing a lot of the things that they have to do to win hockey games. And then you could just feel the 3-3 goal and the 4-3 goal happened back-to-back, and you just felt the air go out of the building. There was a great crowd in Nationwide, a sellout crowd, loud. They were into it, and then those goals go in, and you could just kind of feel the balloon pop. and they can never get it back. And so, it's obviously, Colorado can score, but still they let the game get away from them pretty quickly. And then Colorado scores with, on a power play with less than a minute left in the second, and suddenly it's 5-3. And this is a team that has been able to battle back a lot this year, especially at home, but, it just didn't happen last night. And so, you've made it tough on yourself now. You're 4 points back with 8 to go, but, that's why they play the games, I guess you could say.
On the scale of 1 to Dean Evison level of concerned about the defense, how concerned would you fall on that Richter scale?
Yeah, if you look at the last stretch here, it was 6 goals against Vancouver. They're pretty good in Ottawa for the most part. 4 against Nashville, and then 7 last night. So, yeah, you've probably got to be at Dean Evison level of concern, and it's been a multitude of factors. It's not just one thing. And, I mean, certainly, they have to get better goaltending here. At this time of year, you've got to have that. But, I think structurally as well, I mean, it's not been the strength of this team throughout the season, defensive structure. It's been better, certainly, than it has been in the past couple of years. But it's still a team that at times gives up too many chances. And they've had some moments where, even last night I said that I thought they played pretty well through the first 30 minutes. But, it's not like they gave Colorado a ton of chances. But, they still gave up, to a team that can convert those. They gave up too many. And so, they'll have stretches where they play really good hockey for a while there. And then, and it's hockey, you're going to make a mistake at times, and you're going to give up chances. But for this team, too many of them right now are ending up in the back of the net. And so it's one of those things, you see often when a team is playing well defensively, they kind of talk about how the defense and the goaltending feed off of one another. And I think it's the opposite sometimes when you're giving up goals. You're doing the opposite of feeding on each other. If one makes a mistake, the other doesn't pick them up, and then it ends up in the back of the net. And so, there's something that's got to get figured out here pretty quickly. And at times you've just got to simplify the game, and you've just got to be in the right spot, especially this time of year where you see around the league and some of the teams that they've played have been really good at that. The games where they haven't scored, the Florida games and New Jersey and things like that. Those teams, played on the right side of the puck, didn't give up a ton of chances, and then when they did, the goalie made the save. And that's something that for the last little bit here, the Jackets have been struggling with, and it absolutely has to get better because you're not going to win a lot of games giving up 6 and 7, which they've done a couple times here in the last little bit.
Yeah, it's rough, very rough to see that on the defensive side and trying to figure out those solutions. Is the Canadian swing just what this team needs? Maybe.
It might be. They've played some really good games in Toronto over the years. They get a chance to get away and be with each other, but it's also tough because, you look at the standings, and Toronto is a very good team. Ottawa is a team they just played that beat them and is also in a playoff spot. And so you hope so. Zach talked about going up north and being, in a place where it's all about hockey, and they have a chance here. They can beat anybody. We've seen it throughout the season. If you look at their record against some of the top teams, they've beaten a lot of the top teams in the league. So it's in there, and, they did it for 30 minutes last night. And it's a time of year, though, where it's got to be a full 60. And so we shall see. Obviously they've not been the best team in the world on the road. And so they really have to, I think after last night, you saw some frustration, and, Dean Evison admitted, they were a bit hot in that locker room afterward. And so it's got to unite them. It's got to bring it together. I don't know if it means a team meeting or a hard conversation or something that, you get to this time of year. Sometimes you need something to bring you together, and maybe this will be it. And it has to be, because they're now at a point where they can't give away too many more points down the stretch because they 8 games left. They're 4 points back of Montreal, and I believe the Habs have the tiebreaker as well. So I remember back in 2019, late in the year, they were struggling. They were in pretty much the exact same situation, and they figured it out, and they came together, and they won 7 of the last 8. They got in the playoffs, and they beat Tampa Bay. That they might have to do something similar here down this stretch to get where they want to go. But you know what? You can look at that as inspiration and see that it's happened before.
He is Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Jeff, you're a goalie at heart, and I saw Porty tweet this out last night. Since the 1-0 loss to Florida, which you were just mentioning, that was 6 games ago. Elvis Merzlikins has an .843 save percentage, 511 goals against average. Have you noticed anything with him in the last few games that he's been in the net? Like, has anything changed, or is it just simply maybe not playing his best hockey of the season right now?
Yeah, it's certainly that. You look at those numbers, and it's like you're not going to win a ton of hockey games when those are the numbers. And there's, when goals go in the net, there's a lot of factors that go into it. But just watching Elvis last night is that game kind of got away. Just did not look like a confident goaltender. And sometimes that happens, that position. It's a lonely spot out there. It's kind of like a pitcher in baseball, or, it's hard to think of, there are unique spots, in sports where so much of it falls on one person, even though it's a team game. But like I said, sometimes when it's going well, everybody feeds off of it. And when it's not going well, it's the loneliest spot in the world. And, some of those goals and his reactions to those goals, you can tell he's just not a confident goaltender right now. And, I think every goalie goes through stretches like this, but obviously this is not the time of year where you want that to happen. And he's got to find it quickly, obviously. And they're going to have to make a decision here if they go back with him, because they say it's not just last night. It's, the Vancouver game, and it's a stretch of a couple of games here where, there's goals he wants back, and, the positioning, is, you watch a goalie play when they're confident, and they make it look easy. They're in the right spots before the puck even comes off the stick. They make the saves look simple. And, last night it just looks like Elvis was swimming a bit out there trying to figure it out. And like I say, it's just not the time of year where you want to go through that. But, he's been a big part of this team throughout the season. He hasn't been, one of the, 3 or 4 best goalies in the league, but he's given them a chance to win. He's played much better than he has in some of the past seasons, and they've ridden him. They've made him their number one goalie because they felt like he deserved it. And, they know it's in there, and it's got to come back together quickly, because there's not much time to waste to get it figured out.
All right, give me the Svoboda Red Drink Index on the percentage the Jackets make the playoffs right now.
Yeah, it's got to be tough. I mean, it's the number doesn't look good. Let's be honest. I hate to put an actual number on it. You look at say 40%, 30%. Right now at this point, when you're 4 points back with 8 to go, I hate to be a naysayer, because, like I say, I've watched enough sports to say anything can happen, but it's not a high percentage right now. It's probably closer to 20 or maybe even lower than that. Just if you look at the mathematical models, that's where it's at. I don't want to sound like a negative Nelly here, but you've got to you got to rip off some wins here. You've got to get some. You got to get points at this point, and it's a matter of you got to get them any way you can. It doesn't matter. We've seen 7-6 here recently. If it's that or if it's 1-0, you've got to figure it out sooner rather than later. So, Montreal has kind of now grabbed the bull by the horns a little bit these last couple games, and the Jackets have to do the same. And this is a trip where, they've got to go up there. They play back-to-back 2 times in 22 hours, and they may have to get 4 points right now.
Yep.
It's a tall order, but, you go into Toronto where you played well before. We saw the Adam Fantilli hat trick the last time up there. Got to go through and win and do it again against Ottawa as well.
Yeah, no pressure. What are you doing tonight on an off night in Toronto?
What's weird is Toronto is, because it's such a big city. It's weird where there's it's almost like there's so much to do that you're not sure what to do. But I know we'll
so many options.
Rodney's Oyster House is on the menu. We'll get some dinner, and then we'll kind of see what happens in the Great White North.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us. Go get us a few points at least here this weekend, and we'll check in again next Friday. Hopefully still in contention in the playoffs, all right?
Yeah, that's the goal. Let's bring back some points and make it a fun chat next week.
There he goes. Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Austin Ward, he's going to break down the penultimate week of Ohio State Spring Ball with us here in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. 104 is blocked off in both directions down to the south. This is between Jackson Pike and Dyer Road. This is due to flooding concerns. Crews blocking that off right now. Same situation down in Asheville, 752, just east of 23, seeing flooding there as well. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy this year. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
1 hour away from right now, Mr. Aaron James Hawk. He's going to join the program. Excited to chat with him. As for now, though,
a guy who considers himself the mayor of Laramie, Wyoming, who holds the shuffleboard record at the Ranger, and most impressive, the commissioner of the Central Ohio Two-Man Scramble League. Here's Austin Ward.
we always head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline at this time. Check in with the commissioner. Commish, happy Friday. How's things going over at the Woody?
The Woody's great. I'm just wondering if I just have realized that I should have been going by AJ Ward on every football Friday with you guys. My middle name is James too.
Yeah. Why didn't you go by AJ?
Oh man. Allie calls me that sometimes, Bob.
Is that when you're in trouble?
Is that when you're wearing a mask?
Name?
Actually, that's when I've done things right.
Ooh.
AJ seems like a guy that knows how to get things done, Austin.
That's right. Yeah, and they're getting a lot of things done at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. 3 more practices in the books already this week. Student Appreciation Day on Saturday. Really excited for this because we've been talking to the Buckeyes, we've been talking to the coaching staff the last couple of weeks, but we have not seen a practice since number 2 a couple of weeks ago. And I think we're going to see some real football, or at least football light work tomorrow morning, and maybe some tackling and some hitting. And my understanding, Bob, is it's been a little chippy in there the last couple of weeks with a lot of competitiveness and some of that boiling over a little bit, which I think Ryan Day kind of likes.
Yeah, I mean, especially on the back end. I mean, you get those guys going back and forth, the receivers and DBs. You've got a lot of new and young faces out there with the loss of 3 starters on the defensive backfield. Plus, you have Caleb Downs, who Ryan's talked about him being restrictive a little bit. So you've got a lot of young guys out there that are trying to earn their spots, and they're playing good, and they'll let you know when they're playing good, and then that goes back with the DBs. Some of the guys up front are getting after it a little bit, which has been fun. And I think, yesterday you started doing a little bit of move the field in some more live-ish situations, because eventually, like Austin, you got to figure out what you have on defense. You got to figure out what you have on offense, and then defensively, like, hey, the I got him tackle is good, but eventually, like, you got to figure out, can the guy actually get him to the ground? So they're starting to kind of lean into that a little bit. And I feel like Ryan's managed this whole process pretty well, from getting guys ready to play while also giving them some rest after the season. But at some point, you do have to kind of take it to that next level and take those next steps.
Absolutely, and I think that extends even to the quarterback play.
That's the rumor, Austin.
Yeah.
It was fun seeing that.
I think probably I haven't been – guys, I missed some of the first hour and a half of the show, so I don't know if you've been talking about that already, Bob, but, like, you have to walk that line a little bit. If you have Julian Say and Lincoln Kienholz and Tavian St. Clair, who the only real live bullets that have flown at any of those three in super competitive situations were 3 quarters of play for Lincoln Kienholz in the Cotton Bowl.
Well, Lincoln Kienholz, that live situation was a little bit like Normandy for him. So I think he's fully apprised of what a real game is like.
Yeah. When I say live bullets, that he was standing in front of a firing squad. So he has seen that and got through to the other side. So the defense has to do that, and I think the quarterbacks do too. And everybody has to walk that line and decide what is right to get their team ready to play. And you don't, because Ohio State only has 3 scholarship quarterbacks on the roster, of course you don't want to put them in unnecessary jeopardy or extensive jeopardy. But football is also a physical game, and you have to be ready to physically take those hits and understand what it is like to play at that speed and with that physicality and play the game at a high level. So, I think all these reminders that we're getting that how many days it is until Texas and the emphasis on being ready for week 1 and that, you're playing in a national championship contender right as you start off the game, whether it's Julian Sand or Lincoln Kienholz or Tavian St. Clair, that's a tall order, and that is going to be an incredibly physical game. And, I think, you've said this a lot, Bob. I've heard a lot of coaches talk about this. The only way that you can prepare to get hit is to be hit. And even then, you don't know how everybody's going to respond to every single one, and it doesn't protect you perfectly. But I kind of like this approach, and we'll see how much they use that. I don't know if that's going to carry over to Saturday's practice with the students and the media in the building or not, but I'm looking forward to finding out.
He is Austin Ward with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. What did you gain the most out of talking to Tyler Bowen and some of the offensive linemen yesterday, Austin?
Man, what an impressive group. It's kind of amazing to see this unit of guys and a new position coach and what they have to replace without Josh Simmons, without Donovan Jackson, without Josh Fryer, and be like, maybe this group could be even better than the one that won the national championship. We'll see what that ceiling winds up looking like once it becomes, real and you get into late August. But in terms of having maybe more depth and more positional versatility, this group really has it. And I like Tyler Bowen. I've heard from him twice now, I guess, in the last couple of weeks. I jotted down in my notes yesterday, he was talking about pass protection. He said, pass protection isn't passive. And I was like, maybe he didn't come up with that alone, but it's like that should be a T-shirt or a tattoo for an offensive line coach. I mean, that was pretty awesome. But you look at Austin Sareveld and coming off an Iron Buckeye winter and the tone that he is setting for that group.
Hey, really where did the nickname Piggy come from, by the way?
Yeah, I asked Carson Hinsman that because he said Piggy was doing this, and I said, I'm sorry, did you say Piggy?
Yeah.
He said, I guess I need to follow up with that with Austin himself. I guess it was maybe some screen name or something that he was using when he was younger.
Maybe OnlyFans or something.
I haven't done that research yet, but I think I heard him say that. Are you sure Piggy is the name that we're going with here? And yeah, so we'll get to the bottom of that moving forward. But he's setting the tone for the group, and Carson Hinsman is as well. He has also previously won an Iron Buckeye award. So you've got 2 of those guys on the offensive line, which is if you're picking a position group, or you should hope and want to have guys who are setting the tone in the weight room and in mat drills and carrying that over to the practice field. Offensive line is where you'd ideally want it. So a really impressive group, and I do think there's a nice ceiling and a chance to protect one of these quarterbacks who are going out there and trying to learn on the fly.
So you say that they have only 3 quarterbacks on the roster, so they don't even have a starting quarterback. So let's find out, Austin. I mean, you got 6 months to get better, heal up if you got some cracked ribs or something. I mean, we don't want anything too significant happening, and you want your guys obviously to take care of their teammates and not be ridiculously punitive when they get an opportunity to get back there and hit them. But they also have to figure out, can you get up off the ground and go run another play like that? That's right. You will get hit in the game. And then also, what does that do to the clock in your head after being rocked a little bit? When you were talking about the offensive line shuffle there, and a bunch of the different guys, and Austin Cervelt, who was playing guard, and then you got Luke Montgomery, Tiger Shabola, Carson Hinsman. Like, those four have been kind of solidified inside. They've all played a lot. Now, maybe they haven't been day one starters and played every snap last year, but they've done a lot of things. Tackle's a little bit different. And, what are they doing? Are all four of those guys staying inside? They looked at maybe Austin playing some tackle. Is that something that he is comfortable with? Is that something that, or not Carson, Austin, possibly going out there? And do you think that's a realistic possibility?
Yeah, he's been out there. He's played every position on the offensive line this spring except center. So he has played left tackle, left guard, right tackle, and I think I went into spring thinking Austin Cervelt is an awesome swing offensive lineman, and if he's the sixth man and accepts that role, that is really good for him, and it's really good for the depth of Ohio State. But the way that he has played, the way that people talk about him, the Iron Buckeye stuff, I think there's a realistic shot that he could start at tackle for Ohio State. Now, I don't know, maybe that's too far down the road, and that decision hasn't been made because you brought in Ethan Oniano. I think he's going to be one of them. Philip Daniels, though, I think there may be a much tighter competition with Austin Cervelt there than I would have anticipated, and that's good. That's the competitiveness, that's the depth that you're trying to build, and I do think that could happen, Bob, and it's a tribute to the work that Austin Cervelt has done that he's in that spot.
Kamish, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a fantastic Friday. Enjoy Student Appreciation Day over at the Woody, and we'll check in again next week, all right?
Can't wait. Going to be in that seat a little bit later for some Buckeye show tonight, We'll get more preview going for that. But you guys have a great weekend.
You got a crew score for me before we get you out of here?
Yeah, 7-0.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Thanks, buddy. Have a great weekend.
See ya.
There he goes. Austin Ward with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Tons to be juiced about here heading into the weekend. That's next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. Watching flooding concerns this morning on State Route 104 in both directions. This is between Jackson Pike and Dyer Road. Watch for crews blocking over there. Also the same situation down in Asheville on State Route 752, just east of 23. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina. It's boat season at Buckeye Lake Marina. Don't miss their open house April 11th through 13th. Details and more at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.50%, APR 6.56% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
Veteran Reds fans may recall the name Paul Summercamp. He was the Reds PA announcer for nearly 4 decades at Old Crosley Field and then at Riverfront Stadium. Summercamp had a distinctive style when announcing the lineups, giving the player's full name, then repeating just the last name, as in Pete Rose. And Summercamp was durable, but he missed the game on this date, April 4th in 1983, because of the flu. That ended a streak of 2,470 games in a row, 31 straight years dating all the way back to 1952. An amazing streak comes to an end for the legendary Paul Summercamp, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all. all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You're listening to Morning Juice.
That's Friday. Decent looking weather day after about 16 inches of rain. Let's get juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bobo. Made it to the weekend. It's got you fired up.
It's the freaking weekend, baby. Shark's about to have him some fun.
Extended
he's
weekend
off all
him.
week. You off all week, Shark?
Yeah.
All week?
And then some.
Oh my. You might have so much fun you don't return.
I mean, wow. Power trip. I love it.
Either that or Jan will bury you out there in the desert somewhere outside of Phoenix. It's a lot of space out there, Shark,
That
for
doesn't
just
sound too
coyotes
bad.
and cactuses.
Honestly.
Cacti, if you will. What's got me juiced, man, being this rain. Holy smokes.
Jeez.
My grass is going to need to be mowed next week.
I know, mine too.
In a big way.
Well, the good news for you is that it's going to...
Do we have any breaks in the weather? I know...
Tuesday and Wednesday next week, it's going to be a high of 40.
That's good.
I think there are a chance of snow flurries on Tuesday.
I love it. Just
That's crazy.
Snip, snap weather. I love it what you do to my sinuses. Let's get hot and humid. Let's bring some cold and some snow.
My allergies, by the way, are just a mess.
It's good. You know, when you've got your tulips out there already and they're starting to bloom, you'll want to have a nice snow covering over top of them. It really sets the scene for a great picture. That's the beauty of the Ohio weather that you're going to get. It keeps you on your toes, keeps you flexible.
Yeah.
You never want to get too settled in. Who wants to wake up every day in San Diego and know what the weather's going to be like?
Arizona, you know?
Yeah, where's the fun in that? If you don't have to check the weather before you put your clothes on, what kind of life are you living?
Every night before I go to bed. What's the weather going to be like tomorrow? What do I need to pack?
It got hot the other day. I was like, yeah, they said it was going to be in the 70s.
I think we crept up to like 82.
Yeah, I mean, it was hot. I'm like, I saw that. That's why I didn't wear a sweater to teach in. I wore a polo, but I had a coat on in the morning because it was still 48 when I walked out of the house. You gotta get all the spectrum.
Spin the wheel of destiny.
I mean, it's the Jim Valvano of life. You get to live a full life of weather in one day. So that's got me juiced. We got Student Appreciation Day on Saturday, so excited about that tomorrow. Caleb, my youngest son's gonna be playing a basketball tournament over in Pickerington, so that's got me fired up. Be his first foray into real hoops. So we'll see how that looks. It'll be a wild and wonderful situation. I'll have you a little update about the computer and some different stuff.
Some guy on the YouTube chat, Eastfall, said, I built multiple computers. What type of CPU do you have? AMD has a lot of status lights on their motherboard.
No, it's not AMD. I did Intel. So I'm going to have, I might need, oh boy, which one, where is he at
Eastfall.
here? Eastfall. I might need Eastfall to hit me up on a email. And so I might need to talk to him. He could be my consultant moving forward. Big day 2 today. I've got, Schleggs and I, we do the Bobby Carver show around noonish every day. We got Jack Sawyer going to come on, talk about his little process and presence and what he's been doing here since Pro Day, how everything's been shaping up for him. So excited. We'll maybe get some sound for that to be able to play next week.
Also, ask him about what he's doing April 8th. Is it April 8th?
Tuesday.
Ask him what he's doing on Tuesday.
All right. April 8th. Make a note of that for Mr. Sawyer. And
do you want to know what he's doing on Tuesday?
What's he doing?
He's throwing out the first pitch.
Oh,
of the
yeah, Guardians. Yes, I had that written down.
Okay.
Like, I didn't know what date it was, but I saw, like, hey, we're throwing out the first pitch for the Gardos. Let's see how that works.
He's a statewide hero.
Absolutely. Maybe, do you think he should go out there and, like, have somebody have the ball that he strips out of their hand and then throws it to him? Get one of those. Get J Ram over from third and be like, strip it out.
And then, I don't know if you want that force on J Ram's body.
Just it'll be a soft one. Well, I told Jack. Jack played baseball growing up. I go, listen, man, I don't know how long it's been, and I don't know how much you used to pitch. I go, but what is the drop off the mound?
960. Oh, the 9 inches.
9 inches.
Yeah.
I go, buddy, it doesn't seem like much until you throw it, and you don't want to bury it in the dirt, and you don't want to airmail that thing. You're a baseball player. You're a good athlete. Find a place, find a mound somewhere, and just get a couple tosses. Even if it's underneath. When I threw out for the Clippers, I was like, oh, there's that turf mound underneath. And they're like, what are you doing? I go, I'm going to get a couple more warm-up reps to make sure I feel good about this so I don't look like a fool. I want it to pop in the catcher's glove.
You don't want to look like 50 Cent.
And I don't want it, and I don't want it to be hit in front of me or go over the backstop.
Look like George Bush. That's what you want to look like.
You want to have it. You want to hear the pop in the glove, and you want to make sure the catcher doesn't have to look like a second baseman trying to field the ball. So there's all that. And then I got this little nugget. Jim, it's all about the team. Our Lieutenant Governor, Jim Tressel. In a perfect world, I'd love this guy to be governor and president of the United States, but I really want him to retire so we can spend more time with him because of stuff like this.
Person with the highest perceived role, the best player or the best producer in a business or whatever, if that person is the best person and can relate to everyone else, we're going to have a good team or a good company. I think back to Ohio State, and we had Will Smith, great defensive lineman. Every day I'd walk in that locker room after practice, he'd be sitting with a different walk-on player. Now, he's an All-American. He's going to be a first-round draft choice. He had that ability to connect.
Yeah, the ability to connect, and that was key. And so if your best performer, Beam, is someone that's kind of nefarious, subverting, doing backdoor deals, talking and doing stuff around, like that's not a good thing. It doesn't create a good culture. If your best players, your best producers are your best people that can be honest and have hard conversations with people, that's incredibly important. Shark, what Schleggs got to say?
I don't know. My alarm's going off in the background. I tried to turn it off. I was going to let it ride. Can you guys hear my alarm going off in the background?
Nope, can't hear it.
Amazing. That is so cool. I didn't even know that.
Sounded a little tired.
He was all out of whack.
Pia, my youngest grandchild, turns 2 tomorrow. Yeah. Mark Charles Howell III, my second youngest grandchild, turns 3 on Tuesday. We call him Charlie. So happy birthday to those two. It's going to be a fun weekend for them. And then
I call him Baby Shark.
They call me Grandpa Shark.
Except for Pia.
Pia. She calls me Papa. Papa. Tum on, Papa. Tum on. You mean come on, Papa? T's or C's, I guess. Anyway, heading to Sedona, Arizona on Monday. Looking forward to that. High 70s, low 80s. That's all boring, week. That's going to be fun. Going to head up to the Grand Canyon one day. Going to head to Petrified Forest National Park one day. So looking forward to that. And then don't fly home until late Sunday night. So I'm taking next Monday, the following Monday off as well, Beam.
That's great. I'm fired up for you. Are you guys just hanging out?
just hanging out. Well,
How long is the drive? How long is the drive to the Grand Canyon? Like, what's the farthest drive you're going to have to make?
We're flying into Phoenix, and it's 2 hours up to Sedona, and then another 2 to the Grand Canyon.
All right, that seems like a lot of driving after you've spent a lot of time on an airplane. But you know what? It's your vacation.
Well,
have a great time.
We're not doing that all in the same day.
I'm just telling you.
Be there for a week.
Listen, man, you don't need to yell at me, okay? You don't need to scream at me. I'm fired up for you, Sharky. It's always good to get away. A big believer in that. Also fired up and keeping you up to date with the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Our Buckeye, Carrie Hollandball, made the cut.
Nice.
And not only did she make the cut, she went back-to-back 70s. So they got a practice round today at Augusta National. Tomorrow they will play the final round. She is currently T9, tied for 9th place. You would probably have to go like Super Saiyan to be able to get yourself in contention. She's 5 shots back of the lead, but anything can happen down there. So a round of applause. Saw that yesterday. Very, very juiced for her. We got a Buckeye playing Augusta National this weekend, which is really cool. So be locked and loaded and keeping my eyes on that. Also juiced that the Reds made history. We'll get into that next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. We are still watching crews blocking State Route 104 in both directions between Jackson Pike and Dyer Road. This is because of flooding concerns. We're also watching the same situation down in Asheville on 752, just east of 23. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done and enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or at goodfeet.com.
Take action with Logan Services. Get up to $900 off a Train furnace and up to $1,500 off a Train air conditioner. Plus free duct cleaning on qualifying systems. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Join your Reds as we honor the Hit King on Wednesday, May 14th for Pete Rose Night. All fans in attendance will receive a Pete Rose replica jersey of the road uniform worn by Pete when the Big Red Machine celebrated back-to-back World Series championships. No one was prouder to wear Cincinnati across their chest than Pete Rose. Be a part of this special night honoring the legendary Charlie Hustle. Get your tickets now at reds.com/Pete.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like asterisk-free checking. An account that's filled with features, but no monthly maintenance fee, no matter what. Because it's your money, right? So we think you should keep it. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney.
Now at participating locations, it's UDF's new Sicilian-style pizza. We serve it on our family recipe focaccia crust, handcrafted in our bakery. And right now, get any size Coca-Cola fountain drink free with your purchase. Pizza from United Dairy Farmers, made for you.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. At Giant Eagle, we combine exceptional customer service and quality foods, all at great value to make the most of your shopping trip. Visit Giant Eagle or Market District today to see how easy it is to save.
Your home is more than just 4 walls and a roof. It's where life happens, where memories are made, where family gathers, and where you should feel safe. At Newman Roofing, we know that when it's time for a new roof, you want to feel confident that you've hired the right company, one that will install a quality roof and complete the work as promised. But with so many roofing companies out there, how do you know which one to trust? For over 30 years, Newman Roofing has helped more than 7,500 families protect their homes with quality roofing, gutters, and siding. We believe you deserve a company that provides a white glove customer experience, one that pays attention to every detail and treats your home like it's our own. At Newman Roofing, we're not just another roofing company. We're a family-built business that stands behind our work. So when it's time to replace your roof, don't settle for uncertainty. Choose the local family with a reputation for excellence. Choose the company you can trust. Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Michelle Smallman here for the Capital One Venture X card. If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, you can earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn all of your purchases into extraordinary travel. And you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book through Capital One Travel. Plus, you'll get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark Bishark. It was a rough Thursday night for the Blue Jackets. They lost and Montreal won, so Columbus falls 4 points behind the Canadiens in the race for the second wild card spot in the East. At Nationwide Arena, Colorado's Cale Makar became the first defenseman in 16 years to reach 30 goals in a season as the Avalanche whipped the Blue Jackets 7-3. For the first time in 65 years, a Major League Baseball team has been shut out 1-0 in 3 straight games. It happened to the Phillies in 1960, and it's happened to the Reds this week. They lost to the Rangers 1-0 on Tuesday and Wednesday and 1-0 to the Brewers last night. Milwaukee's lone run came in the 4th inning and was unearned. The Guardians had the night off. They begin a 3-game weekend series this evening in Anaheim. The Clippers' home game against St. Paul was rained out. They'll play a doubleheader today beginning at 5:05 at Huntington Park. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
Hour 3 for us here on a Friday. Coming up this hour, AJ Hawk. He's going to join the program at 8:30.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
You can always watch the show on YouTube. If you know anything about computers, you can join the discourse in a very nerdy chat this morning.
It's super nerdy.
It is.
It's the nerdiest. I've become a computer nerd. Like the more stuff I've learned about this, and I've got to change the cooling system to a different fan header.
You guys are in this chat this morning. I mean, there are letters strung together. I don't know how to pronounce numbers. There's X's in there.
It's like Meredith doing some calculus.
A 3090 and Ryzen 9 would have been sufficient. Cut one of your TB SSD and save like $300. I don't know what any of that means.
The cost isn't in the storage. I've got 3 2 terabyte hard drives in there.
The motherboard is an Asus ROG Strix B870 and a GeForce 1080 graphics. I mean, they sound like fighter jets to me.
It is. When you open them up, the presentation on these is ridiculous. Some of them.
I've seen some of them.
The Intel chip, when I pulled it out of there, you would have thought that it was there was an infinity stone inside.
Did it come with like a cryo chamber?
You have to unscrew it and you open it. It's like, I mean, basically, I felt like there was dry ice packed in it and smoke was just coming out. Listen, I'm all ears for help and everything. I'm not saying I know the most. So people are like, you should have bought one. I'm like, no, I wanted to build a sweet one. Part of it was the activity of building it with my son and us yelling.
That's what it's about.
You know, it's like anytime you get to help your dad growing up and he yells at you and MFs you for bringing the wrong tools and everything else. And the conversations as we've had have been productive and destructive all at the same time.
So a couple of weeks ago, Michael bought a new house, right? So Mike Bennett bought a house. He's got a lot
I like
of work.
that you call him Mike.
Yeah, he's got a lot of different things going on at the house. So he said, "Hey, can you come over and help me fix this fence post?" And I said, "Sure, I'll come over. I'll hang out." Now, good news for him and me both is that my stepdad, who's a very handy man, who used to be an electrician, he's just good with household stuff, like pretty good with everything. So we go over, and this is a couple of weeks ago. We were going over to help him build the fence post. Now, we hadn't seen the fence post yet, but when we got there were two of them, Bob, that were leaning. The fence was not very straight, and there were two of them that were leaning probably, I wouldn't say at a 45-degree angle, but they were approaching maybe like 30. Like they were pretty tilted.
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, so what I want to do is I want to get this out of here, replace the fence post." I'm like, okay, sounds like a good idea. I'm like, "Do you have screwdriver? Like, what's the tools that we're working with?" Because I brought two shovels knowing that we were going to be digging out a fence post.
Yeah, this isn't going to, what's the place? The Swedish place?
IKEA.
We're not going to IKEA and they have the list of things that you need. We're going to have to determine what we need moving forward with this.
So he had these, nice looking fence posts. These, I don't even know what size that they were, but
probably 4x4s, I'm guessing.
Nah, maybe like 4x8. Like they were big posts that.
No, not the length. They were squares.
Yeah, they were square, but they were super.
Well, they're
big.
10 foot probably, maybe 8. But the 4x4 beam, the measurement of wood is it's not the length of it. They'll tell you that, but it's if it's a 2x4 or a 4x4.
It was a 4x4.
Yeah, so it was a little.
It was a nice chunk.
Yeah,
it was a nice chunk. And so, we're digging out this old post, and I'm like, "Hey, man, this isn't even like in anything. This is just rotted away." So it had rotted away from the bottom. Anyways, fast forward through the story. I don't know if Mike had ever used a screwdriver before in his life, which was like my stepdad was having the most fun I think I've seen him had in years. He's like, "Come on, Mike! Like you don't know how to take the drill bit out of the screwdriver," and sometimes it's just fun to hang out with other people and try to accomplish something, So we replaced a couple of fence posts. We felt good. But a lot of times, Bob, it's not about the end product. It's about the journey and how you got there. And that's, I think, what's really cool what you and your boy are doing.
It's something. I mean, really cool is I've got to take some pieces apart now to be able to get it, I think, to get some things reconfigured. But we're pretty close to where it needs to be. I would say we are inside the 10-yard line. I don't know if we're quite on the goal line yet, but...
What's the down?
The downs are limitless. Okay, we're just running plays because there is no expiration on this. Like it's not going bad. It's not perishable. It's like I was having a conversation with my mom. Like you're retired. You have all the time in the world until you die. I don't know when that's going to be. Stay in shape, eat more better food, take care of yourself, and then maybe that'll push that time out. But you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything in life. And I know you were talking about your mom about this. I'm like, one day I'm going to have to come in this house and get rid of half of this crap. So let's start getting rid of some of it now.
Stuff. And it gives me anxiety when I walk in there. I'm like, how do you do this?
You've lived, my parents are around 70 years old. My dad will be 70 on Easter this year. And it's like you've accumulated a lot of things. And we've accumulated a lot of stuff, and you store some stuff for us. But, let's start. My mom has enough tennis shoes to match 80 different outfits. She could not wear them out if she ran a marathon every week for the rest of her life. What are you going to do with that? They match my stuff.
Need so many shoes.
Why do they all look brand new?
You're getting ready to go onto a team plane, get to go to
have
warm-ups?
my daughter come get some. Let her get some of those out of here. Let's get some of this stuff out of here. Let's figure it out. And I have to do this. No, you want to do that. I would prefer that you handled some of the problems that are in front of you. And here's the thing. Set a date of when you're going to start it. Set a date when you're going to finish, because then you'll work hard enough to meet those goals and get it done, because there's no structure to anything else you had to do, because there's nothing else you literally have to do. So it's a great situation.
The only thing I have to do every day is make sure that my child survives.
Yeah.
That's goal. That's goal number one for me.
They're like a little plant. You have to provide them food, water, shelter.
Ball in the bush.
It's ball in the bush. You have to have some rec time with them to be able to play and entertain them. With that, the one thing my mom, it's funny. So she's got 4 boys. So there's no conversations with her, stuff that's happening. And I don't know what all jewelry and all these different things she had. I told my kids, I could go through, here's all the important things in life. We did a snake order draft. about a week and a half. Did I tell you this?
No.
About 2 weeks ago, we did a snake order draft, and I put like my gold pants, some of my watches, different things. I might add to this through the course of my life, but like a lot of the things that are most valuable to me, I don't know if you can put a price on them. Like, here's my national championship ring, here's my Big Ten championship, my 4-year letter ring at Ohio State, the gold pants, like all the other stuff.
It's like your life in a box.
I go, yeah, I've got these cufflinks that were given to me by the president, like other things. Like, these are things that are of value to me that I find important. And so instead of you guys fighting over this when I die, which who knows when that'll be, let's do a snake order draft. We'll do a snake order draft, and RJ will go first. He's the oldest.
I like how old is Caleb?
2. Or second grade. Second grade. He's 8.
He's the same age. He's reverse age, Benjamin Button. I like how you're putting all this pressure on an 8-year-old.
I talk through it with him. I go, I have 3 pairs of gold pants. We put the years on it. I only have one
child's going to get left out.
I only have one. Well, and that's the thing. I go, I'm sorry for 2003.
Should have won that last game.
Should have won that last game. You know, I go, if I come back and coach or something, maybe I can earn another pair. I don't know what it'll be. But here's all this stuff out here. And so you guys get to go through, and I was like, these are 2 watches that your mom got me, one 2 years ago, one when our first Christmas together. And this is kind of all my things of value. And so we started and we kind of snake ordered. So I was like, Caleb, you get to go last, but you get to go first. So you get 2 picks in a row.
Back to back. It's a great spot.
Probably the real sweet spot was being 2 or 3 because there's a lot of good stuff. And like, I don't know, like if you wanted to get 2 of one thing, and I told him, no one's getting both 2 pairs of gold pants. Like, because one of them tried to consolidate. I go, no, you can't. They can't go both to you.
Against the rules.
Okay. That's not
all right, Smaug. What are you trying to do? Gobble up all the gold.
Gobble up all the stuff. And so I said, do this. I'll write it down, and then we'll have a deal. And if you guys want to make trades later or figure that out, that's great. If there's something else that comes into the pot, you can figure that out. Like, there's some other things that might be of value later in life. But this is it. Your mom, she can do with her stuff whatever she wants. She's got things that are far more valuable and different stuff than me. And I go, Grandpa's got some things that who knows what my dad will. It'll be like a Gran Torino reading. Like, he just would want to divide everything up by 4, cut the house into 4s, figure that out. I don't know, like with all that stuff. But I didn't want to have to deal with that. And so my mom, going back to like cleaning some things up, she's got this one really, my dad's not exactly the most romantic guy all the time, but he bought her this really nice fur coat when she was in New York. And my mom grew up and she loved All My Children. And my dad grew up kind of watching All My Children because that's what the soap his mom watched. So when he played for the Giants, and he had a little cachet, he took my mom one day into New York City, which they never went, and watched the filming of All My Children.
Cool.
And my mom wore her silver fox coat that he had gotten her, that year before. And Susan Lucci, who is the star of the show, told her, and guess you got to meet her afterwards, and she's like, that's a really nice coat. I really like it. And so I think at that point, my mom ceased to wear it. She put it back in the dry cleaner's bag, and then it sat in one closet, and then it moved to another. And I'd always told my wife about this, and we were back 2 weeks ago, and my brother was over with his wife, and I'm going to go get that coat, and you can try it on. I'm like, maybe you can start talking to my mom, slime your way in to get in the coat. And my mom came down, and my Courtney had it on. She's like, where'd you find that? I go, I know there's only 2 places. It's still in the garment bag.
Been here for 30
it used to be in the spare bedroom down here. And then when Dad took that over, I figured it had moved back up to your closet in your bedroom. So there it is. And this is it. And I go, you don't even wear it. It's never. And she goes, oh, here's the hat. And then she pulls the box out with a hat. It's like a little Russian style hat.
I'm kind of envisioning Denzel in American Gangster.
It's kind of like that. It's pretty sweet. And I'm like, there you go. But I go, I did this with the kids. I go, Mom, you're going to have to decide who's getting this. So that's up to you.
It's too much anxiety.
Exactly. And then she's like, well, I don't know. Who worries? You'll be dead. Who cares? Who cares?
Who cares what they're thinking about you?
Like,
you're not here.
You can do this. I did this with my kids. That was another activity. It seemed a little morbid at the time.
That's
but
a good team building activity.
It really is. I go, they were really excited. I go, so maybe you start putting the antifreeze in my drinks tomorrow. I don't know. Whatever it takes.
We've already started to do that. Avs 7, Jackets 3. Talk to Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda a little bit about it more in the 7 o'clock hour. At the Leafs Saturday, and then Senators on Sunday. So a back-to-back coming up for them. Reds made history last night. Brewers won. Reds nothing. Second team in the live ball era to lose 3 straight games 1-0. You got to go back to 1960. when that was done. At the Brewers, back again 8:10 tonight. 8 o'clock coverage for us begins on the Fan. Gardo's at the Angels at 9:30. Crew at home against Montreal at 7:30 tomorrow evening. And then we get the Final Four. That will be on ESPN Columbus, Florida. And Auburn going to start you off, I believe, a little bit just after 6 p.m. And then Duke will take on Houston. The Buckeye offensive line is learning a valuable lesson in versatility this spring. That's next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. Right now, we're watching a crash on the far east side on I-70 westbound, just past 310. Watch for lanes blocked over there. 104 in both directions. Also still watching some flooding concerns between Jackson Pike and Dyer Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan traffic.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if erectile dysfunction is making a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Tri-State Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654. Or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.50%, APR 6.56% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-THIRD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Skyline nachos are back, and now there's a spicy version. Get them with Skyline's cheddar or habanero cheese, topped with fiery jalapeno slices. But hurry, Skyline's regular and new spicy nachos are only at participating restaurants for a limited time.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, 80% lean Kroger brand ground beef is on sale. 3-pound packages are $3.99 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Are you in need of basic dental treatment but can't afford the cost? There may be a solution. Hi, I'm Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, and I'm excited to tell you about a program called Dental Options. Dental Options is a partnership between the Ohio Dental Association and the Ohio Department of Health in which qualifying patients can be paired with a dentist to receive discounted or even free dental care. Eligibility for the program is based on your financial situation. For more information or to apply, call 1-888-765-6789.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're watching more rain as we head into this Friday. The heavy showers push out this morning, but we'll see an additional round as we head through this evening and into tonight. Flooding concerns will remain a possibility throughout the day, so use caution and avoid those areas of high water. Temperatures will be in the 50s back to the 70s on Saturday. Some storms could be possible. Flooding concerns will stick around through early Sunday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
Coming up here, 8:30 this morning, AJ Hawkey's going to join the program. Pumped about that. You can always hop in the YouTube chat. Shark, Little Italy asked you, how are you enjoying this season of Survivor, knowing that you're a big Survivor guy? By the way, you've definitely usurped into Megan's brain because she posts about it on Instagram all the time. Like, do you guys have a weekly phone call lined up about what happened?
Not a phone call, but we have a thread going on, a text thread with all my kids. Yeah. She's been watching since day one because I'm her dad. And she was 6 years old when that show started.
Yeah, he said Psy is something else. I don't know what any of that means. SAI in Survivor.
Say.
Yeah. Psy.
Say. They can't get rid of her. It's awful. She needs to go.
Wait, is she dramatic?
She is mean.
Ooh.
Yeah. Don't like her. Don't like her, Beam. She's got to go.
It gives you something to talk about. I mean, those producers know exactly what they're doing.
I guess.
Buckeyes practice. Tomorrow we got Student Appreciation Day. We did have the offensive line speaking a little bit yesterday, and I thought this was good. I know we talked a little bit about it earlier. Tyler Bowen. I'm talking about critical to have one message coming from top to bottom and one voice in the room. I also thought this was pretty good about cross-training because, I mean, the Ohio State offensive line got firsthand taste of cross-training last year, Bob, for all the different positions and, the injuries that Ohio State took on last year at the offensive line positions to be able to even come through the other side as national champions is really pretty, I think, a underwritten part of the story of the 2024 version of the Buckeyes. But Tyler Bowen was talking about cross-training at different positions at the offensive line, and I thought this was pretty good.
Always a philosophy of cross-training. The goal is, for me as an offensive line coach and for our offense and for our team, is to give ourselves a chance to put the best 5 guys on the field, right? That's what you're trying to find through spring, through summer, through fall camp before we hit the season. So there's a time and place to cross-train. Now, there has to be a comfort level and a knowledge level. So, like, when we take a freshman, right, some of those freshmen, and I like to get those guys in one spot, let them, I don't know if comfortable is the right word, they're always uncomfortable, but let them kind of marinate in a spot, learn the offense, understand what to do, how to do it, and then from there you can start seeing how they can cross-train. For your older guys, tackles need to be in a position to play both tackle. Guards need to be in a position to bump around. We've got guards that take snaps at center. So, like, that just builds depth throughout your room. If you're in a position where you get down to a third center, you've got guys that have worked in and snapped it, so you're always trying to create that in the room.
It was a critically important lesson that they learned last year. You need to be able to do everything on the offensive line. Look at Donovan Jackson and what he was doing. Like, all these guys need to be competent, whether you're playing interior or exterior on those 2 tackle spots. Like, you need to be able to do a lot of different things, and it seems like that's been a very big focus point for them this spring.
Oh, yeah, because you saw what happened last year. The proof was in the pudding.
It's right there.
And you have Donovan Jackson playing left guard, then left tackle. You have Carson Hinsman starting at center 2 years ago, then coming in at left guard, then going back to center. You had Austin Servo playing both guard positions. You had Luke Montgomery, who's played guard and tackle since he's been here. Tegra Chabot has played guard and tackle since he's been here. And so you want to have a home, but then, like they said, the cross-training, like...
You want to have a vacation home.
We can have a vacation home, too, where, like, maybe it's not quite like your normal home, but you can get a lot of stuff, the same stuff done with that. And in a pinch, you can kick out and you can get it done, or you can kick in, or you can do this. Like the big thing now is like, okay, they've got Padilla at back up. You got at center for Hinsman, because last year was Padilla ready. You got Hinsman. He was playing really good at guard. Were you going to put Padilla in at center, or would you move Hinsman over and then have Serveld play left guard?
It's like a puzzle, man.
No, puzzle. It's more like Tetris at the end when everything's moving so fast and the music is only the faster music only amplifies your anxiety. And Justin Fry did a great job of it. And now this is going to be on our guy Tyler Bowen, to be able to do a lot of the same. And they've got a plethora of offensive line coaches helping out to make sure they can get this done.
Here he was talking about what he feels like is most important, the achievement, the accomplishment, what they're working on this spring.
Well, I think the first thing in spring is you try to install your core, your base, the things you're going to come back to, the things that you're fundamentally also building the play action pass game off of, the formational sets that we want to have runs out of. So that's been the goal through through first 3 weeks. It's going pretty quick, but that's been the goal, is to get that foundation back in, reteach it. Every player's got to approach it like they haven't heard it before. They're going to learn something new. So we're getting that foundation in, and then now once the foundation's in, you start putting up the drywall and the crown molding and all those things. You're building a house and a structure that you hope can stand. But spring to me is about the foundation, making sure that we're giving them the structure, the schemes that we're able to draw back on, and then start tweaking the run game from that foundation.
Listen, you don't need to worry about the crown molding before that concrete's poured, okay?
Yeah.
Before those bricks are laid, before that concrete, you don't have to worry about what the kitchen island's going to look like, what kind of marbling is in your house, what the crown molding is. Got to worry about that first. Worry about the big things first.
Absolutely. And the finishing stuff, that'll come. Like, that's what you do at the end of training camp. But right now, we got to figure out, can we go shoulder to shoulder like they did against Tennessee and Oregon and Texas and Notre Dame and knock people off the ball? And can we pass pro enough to be able to give our young quarterbacks time? And then also the problem is with this, and it's a great problem to have, is this defense you're running with Matt Patricia is very multiple up front. And so these guys, like half of it's not just can you block them.
Can you read and dissect what they're doing?
Yeah, who to block. Because you start moving backers around. You go from a 3 down to a 4 down to a 5 down, and you have...
Still using the philosophy, man across, man over, man away. I feel like that's a pretty...
On inside backer?
Yeah. I feel like that...
For down blocking, that's always the case.
Yeah, okay. Man on you, man away from you.
On you?
Yeah. Man across, man away. That was it. Okay, if there's a guy in front of you, hit him. If there's a guy next to you, hit him. And if you don't find any of those two guys, go to the next level.
Yeah. On inside backer.
Yeah,
they can call whatever you want. Yeah, for down blocking,
nobody.
When you're running powers and counters, those things are going to be tried and true till the end of time.
But when you're setting in the pass set, and then the defense is running stuff, and you don't know.
You're trying to figure out who's coming. Yeah. Do we have enough to block them, number one? If we don't, it's going to be on the quarterback, or do we bring somebody in? And then it's, do we have enough to block them? Yes. But who are the ones that are coming? Because we don't want to be wasting guys on air that look like they're coming and then they drop out, and maybe they're not coming from the left, they're coming from the right, or not coming from the outside, they're coming from the inside.
You got a 2-on-1 situation, 2 guys on one guy, and then the other backer, right by.
Yeah, where do you go? Where'd who go? And you're like, sack.
No.
There it is.
Sorry, Julian.
And so when you have guys like Sonny Styles, and you have guys like Arvell Reese, they've got C.J. Hicks, who's looking pretty good out there. And for a guy who was just learning this, is getting pretty good at it, but there's still like nuances. But he's a guy that you can drop. He played linebacker for 3 years.
Yeah.
So like you have Arvell Reese, who played some defensive end, now playing linebacker. He's long, athletic. Like he can be a rush guy. So you could have those two guys. You could have 3 inside and have like a bear front, a normal 3-4 front. You could run your normal 4-3. You could drop both ends. You can walk the linebackers up inside.
What are you doing?
You can bring safeties down. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they can put in this, and it's really fun to watch. And watching, Walton and Guerreri and James and Patricia work with Larry and like building this out, because like here's the front guys, we'll just stir this around and play coverage, and then maybe we'll integrate a little both, bring some of the coverage back through. It's a lot there, Beam. You would sit there and watch it like, oh gosh, this is
a lot.
Something is happening. And like the easy thing is like, well, we'll just slide protect it. Well, then you get issues like if you're just going to slide, then we'll bring guys off the edge. So Buckeyes.
Yeah, there's a solution to every problem. That's their job to figure it out. AJ Hawk, he's going to preview the weekend with us here in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Still watching a crash on I-70 westbound. The right shoulder blocked off in those westbound lanes on the east side, just past State Route 310. Also watching flooding concerns on 104 between Jackson Pike and Dyer Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
There was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like early pay. Moving up payday so you could get your money faster. Up to 2 days faster. And there's no cost. It's your money, right? So stop playing the waiting game. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney. Direct deposit and eligibility requirements apply.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
It is 8:30. It is a Friday. It's time to check in with our guy.
A man with many career achievements. Leading tackler in Centerville football history. Leading tackler in Green Bay Packers history. Still afraid of Larry Knopfsinger. And the crowning achievement, the third member of the Island Boys, A.J. Hawk.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Every Friday at this time, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our great friend. He is A.J. Hawk. Age, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Bob and I, for some reason, got on the topic of Welcome Stadium and playing there in Dayton. Have you ever played on the famed and hallowed grounds of Welcome Stadium?
Yeah, I never actually got to play like an official game on there. I got to play I was there for like different camps and things, but in high school I think we had a scrimmage or two at the old school AstroTurf that was Welcome Stadium. I haven't actually seen Welcome Stadium in a while. How's it doing?
It looks okay. I mean, they had replaced it with field turf a number of years ago. But I think
it was the last place that with AstroTurf in the world.
I mean, it was brutal. Like, because I played on it when it was AstroTurf, and then by the time I got to high school, like they transitioned to field turf. It still wasn't that great. I was just looking at pictures of it though, AJ. I mean, it looks pretty nice. That turf's popping. They redid the track. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's called Welcome Stadium. I mean, how could you not feel welcome and feel happy to be there? So yeah, I get it.
That's good. How was the vacation, AJ? I mean, did you get a chance to get out there with the kids, enjoy some of Mexico, running around and hanging out with the boys in London?
Yeah, we did. We loved it. The kids had a bunch of different of their friends that were there, and they got to hang out with, so that was awesome. But yeah, we got to play some pool volleyball with like adults and kids mixed in. It was fun. Anytime you can play pool volleyball is good. And yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome to be out in the warm weather and see it. I know we're in the middle of like monsoon season here in Ohio, but yeah, it was cool. We had a great time. Was there any situation like Meet the Parents that unfolded for you in that pool volleyball where it got very competitive very quickly? I mean, it does strangely get competitive quickly. Like when the score starts getting closer, if you feel like, hey, this game should be more of a blowout, we're not winning by enough, it does seem to tend to get competitive at times. And then people are arguing about rotating and stuff when you're playing volleyball, which, there's no rule. Like I mentioned to people who are playing with, like, this is not this is not middle school gym class. I don't have to rotate. Like Mr. McConaughey was my gym teacher at Tallahassee Middle School, and he used to make us rotate. No, not Matt. He was actually Terry, to be honest with you. He had beautiful blonde hair. But I used to have to rotate in middle school, and it used to make me so mad. I'm thinking, like, no, why? Like, we have to have positions, and let's stick with them. And so that's what we did.
That's pretty remarkable. I love the fact.
libero in pool volleyball.
Yeah, I love the fact that you remember your middle school teacher. Did he wear like the old school? I'm imagining our guy Terry McConaughey looking like Hayden Fry in All the Right Moves. Which, by the way, it's Hayden Fry's birthday today, and our guy Shark pulled up a great speech from Ann Pipe, not Hayden Fry. Hayden Fox pulled up a great speech from Craig T. Nelson when he was coaching at Ann Pipe. You know, you remember old Ann Pipe, right, AJ?
Of course, yeah. Craig T. Nelson, I mean, absolutely. I saw him in something, like, I forget what show or movie I saw him in the other day that I was hadn't seen him in a while. It was great to see. So, yeah, happy birthday.
I feel like he's, like, built like a coach. Just I know he's played a lot of coaches' roles, but, like, if they were to doctor up someone who was coaching in the 70s and 80s, like, he would be the guy.
Yeah, I assumed he coached in the NFL and the high college level multiple years, and then he just naturally transitioned into acting as a coach.
That's wonderful stuff. What do we have on the agenda here sports-wise for the kids coming through here this spring? I know it's been a lot of rain, so we're probably getting some rainouts and different things, but what do we got on the docket here coming up this weekend?
Yeah, we got a lot of AAU games at different times.
Those are fun.
Definitely have lacrosse games. We'll see if those get rained out or not. I know it's been raining for a while. It looks like it might continue to rain. But, yeah, we're in AAU. Basketball, lacrosse season. No one in my family's playing baseball at the moment, so we're all lacrosse all the time right now, and like I said, some basketball. But yeah, it's nice. I mean, Easter's coming. Easter's just right around the corner. Kids are gonna be out of school here soon. Like, this year's gone pretty quick, man.
He is AJ Hawk with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Were you a baseball guy growing up?
Yeah, I was a baseball guy. You know, football, baseball, basketball. I did all the travel baseball stuff. I would say out of the three sports, baseball was I still enjoyed it, still loved it, but my least favorite, I guess, of football when it comes to football, basketball, and baseball. But I liked it. Yeah, baseball was cool. If I was pitching, I was good. If I was not in lineup as the pitcher, you know, I get distracted easily and bored pretty easily out there in the field. So that was my biggest my biggest issue, I think, when it came to baseball.
Were you like a pick the flowers kid in the outfield? I mean, we all know one of those. You seem like the guy that may have done that.
I don't know if I was that. I was more like, I'm going to try to, get 3 bags of sunflower seeds in my mouth at the same time and see if I can eat these all. And then I'm also going to probably try to, distract. I played center field a lot. I played shortstop a decent amount. I was usually more just, distracting the right and left fielders, trying to, talk to them or see what's going on. And then all of a sudden someone hits a liner in the gap and one of us has got to go find a way to make a catch.
So let's go here with this, because I always find this interesting. My kids don't enjoy their siblings coming to their games because they always try to coach them from the sideline and then yell in, especially the older ones. And so they'll yell back. And I mean, Caleb was yelling at Cullen during a wrestling match this year, mid takedown, and they're in the middle of a hold. And Cullen's trying to coach Caleb, and he's like, "Shut up, don't talk to me." Did your brother, since you're the youngest, I mean, did Burke or Ryan come, and would they critique you? And how do your kids handle that stuff now? Do you deal with the same stuff of maybe Lennon trying to coach the young boys, or Coach Hendricks, or Hendricks trying to coach the other ones?
Yeah, I mean, basically what we do, my kids all universally hate to go support their siblings when it comes to sports.
I like that.
None of them, especially my younger two, are like, okay, guys, come on, we got to go. We got 2 basketball games. They lose their mind if they have to go watch that. They bring a ball and they go shoot during timeouts and everything. Or they bring a football and they're always, I give them money for the concession. But
sugar them
they
up.
don't try to coach. They don't try to coach as much, I guess. But they definitely don't want to hear me coach from the sidelines and from the stands. I know that much. But my older ones, yeah, so my daughter, she's the oldest. When she goes to Hendricks, my sixth graders games, she is very mean and rude to him on the drive there, telling him how he's not going to do anything, and he's loafing, and he's not going to get any rebounds. and he's not hustling. She does all that stuff. But then when she gets there in the game, like, she is his biggest fan. She's rooting so hard for him. Not really I'm usually the only one that can hear it because she's next to me, like, kind of clapping quietly and really wants him to do well and really wants him to, like, physically assault guys on the other team if she feels like he gets fouled hard or something, or a guy gives him a little extra push. That's the biggest thing. But she won't really ever let him know that she's cheering for him, though. I'm really the only one that knows that, me and my wife. That's pretty awesome. How excited are we about maybe some of the potential fights in the stands with parents at those AAU games? I mean, I think you could probably get Axon Vetter a little more excited if they knew Dad was going to maybe be throwing down with some of these other parents. Yeah, maybe they'd be running in trying to, gnaw on dudes' legs or get them off me if I'm getting jumped by people. But, yeah, I was at a tournament a year or so ago, an AAU tournament, when a nice big old brawl broke out. There was women involved, there was refs involved, there was people pouring. Then all of a sudden there's like 9 cop cars in the parking lot. It was great. It was like a movie. And as I saw it all start to work and start to jump off, I slowly just kind of rounded my little kids up and their team. I started walking to the corner of the place like, hey, let's just watch this from a good vantage point where we're not going to catch any friendly fire. If you weren't having to worry about your kids, would you have jumped in and got active in there? No chance. I'm not jumping in a fight. What if Beebs was in there though, Age, and you had to go defend her honor? That's a different story. Well, she would be offended that you think that she needs defended. That's her biggest thing. That's true. I forgot who wore the pants. I'll tell her. I'll say, hey, you're gonna get me in a fight today or something. I'll tell her, and she'll say, yeah, right. I don't need your help. Like, okay, all right. Well, you go ahead, do your thing. But I'm just saying, if you get knocked out cold, I got to come in there and do something. Dad, you're just going to let Mom get knocked over like that? She said it was her wish. She's a grown woman. She can handle herself. Yeah. So we have not been in any of those situations. We are very quiet, and we hope we don't get in any of those situations. Oh, I could gas up Beebs at a game. Let's be real about that. You may be a little cool as a cucumber, but she's running a little hotter when things are happening, especially like those hard fouls. Like, where do you think Lennon gets it from, AJ? Yeah, hey, I'm with you, Bob. I like it. I respect it. I appreciate it. But I just say, hey, it's. I tell her a lot of times, I say, hey, I have all the same feelings you have during this game, but I'm just able to keep it inside. I can just keep it in. I hold it in because I know, you know what? If I verbalize this or I yell this, it doesn't make anyone look good. Definitely not us. So I try to do that. But like sports get emotional. You get you're rooting for those people, not only your own kids, but like your kids' friends on the team. Like you want them to do well, and you want them to have fun. And yeah, people can get out of control. We try to keep it under wraps, which we normally do. Hey, before we get you out of here, where's the FAC today? What do we got on tap? Oh man, I got to find Chopper. So Chopper's actually very excited. I got a flagpole at my house here. I always try to get the biggest American flags I can find. I got a 10-foot by 15 flag that is gigantic out here. And I've been taking pictures of it and sending it to Chopper, and he's been saluting it whenever he drives by. So it might be my house tonight, to tell you the truth. Age, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great Friday, buddy. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll check in again soon, all right? All right, we'll see you guys. There you go. So AJ Hawk with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we're watching a crash on the far east side. The left shoulder blocked off on I-70 westbound just past 310 due to a crash that crews are working to clear up right now. Also still watching a closure here in the metro because of flooding concerns. State Route 104 in both directions shut down from Dyer Road to Jackson Pike. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And now through April 15th, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now at Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.50%, APR 6.56% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restricted supply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
The tournament is underway. Is your bracket a big pile of trash like mine? Big Voice Guy took it on the chin this year. Anyway, check your standings in the Fan and 10 TV Bracket Challenge.
Sponsored by Mountain Dew, Ohio Bottled Buckeye Bowl.
The most accurate bracket, not mine, will take home $1,000. Check your progress at 971thefan.com. Wasting time has never been more fun. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. A very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Cosby Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Good show to go back and listen to the podcast. Had AJ we just had on. Had Svoboda on in the 7 o'clock hour talking about the Jackets roller coaster. Austin Ward talking some Buckeye football. So you can go download the podcast, and the podcast is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. You can use promo code JustSports for a welcome bonus of up to $100 anywhere you get your podcast from, or you could go back and watch the show on YouTube. Now, you won't be able to go back and interact with the YouTube chat live, which I think is the best part of the entire process of watching the show, streaming the show on the tube.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Yeah. Highly entertaining.
Yeah, sure it is, man. What do you got going on this weekend? Anything big? Anything fun?
Yeah, we got a couple of basketball games. We've got a little corporate event for our carpenter mechanical, and then we do like with freelance. We've got that over at the new offices, so I've got that on Saturday night. Upper Arlington's senior prom is this weekend.
All right.
There's that.
You going?
I'm not going. No one asked me this year, Beam. So it's kind of weird for me to show up uninvited. Usually they escort me out with the police and give me the Epstein treatment. I mean, it's not a pretty thing. So we got that. My niece is turning 3, so we're going to head down and hopefully see her and handle all that.
How's this year been for them? Between 2 and 3. I'm just asking.
So she was always kind of scared of me. I'm like, I look kind of like your dad.
I'm kind of scared of you too.
Well, but she's come around and she talks a lot and she's got bigger opinions, as you know. The opinions are there. And so it's been kind of fun to see that and remember what that was like. Because all 3 of my brothers have kids that are turning 3 over like a 4-month span. So it's been fun to see and watch that and the progression of those little guys coming along. So that was good. We got that couple basketball games from man Caleb. Hopefully fix this computer and get that going. Any advice is always welcome. Bobby.carpenter@tegna.com. Feel the need to send it over. I would love it. I need any help is always beneficial, but I think we're getting close. We're inside the red zone, maybe inside the 10. And I think we had all of our spare room had some water in it in the basement where we store everything. So we got all that fixed up with the drywall and all that, but we just have all the black tubs sitting out that need to go back now into the room. And so that might be part of
tub exchange.
Yes, heading it, just being a mule and literally marching those tubs back in there and then restacking them.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty full weekend and dive back into the fun. Ohio State's got practice tomorrow, so go over there and watch some of that with Student Appreciation Day, which I do enjoy watching. I don't enjoy necessarily the parking and the fact that it's really hard to get views and just everything's going on. There's a lot of people there, as you can imagine.
I would think.
And it's probably going to be raining, so it's probably going to be inside.
And what is the weather looking like this week?
Bad.
Is it bad?
Next week, though, I'll take bad this week for like mid-60s and 20% chance of rain on next Saturday.
So let's see here. Weather for this weekend.
Bad.
Afternoon, it's going to rain here. That's good. Let's go hop into the 10-day real quick. Yeah, Saturday, tomorrow, rain all day. Rain showers in the morning will evolve into more steady rain in the afternoon. Rain likely. Potential rainfall may reach at least 1 inch between the evening hours tomorrow and a half an inch tomorrow during the day.
Get your sump pumps ready. Call us up. We'll get them fixed.
Sunday, it's going to rain in the morning and then raining in at night. Yeah. So it's just
Monday and Tuesday, a little more of the same.
Oh, man.
But it does start to change. And next weekend, it's supposed to be like in the 60s and be decent.
69 now.
That sounds great.
69, partly sunny.
Head on out to the spring game next Saturday. Great. You ain't getting a better day than that. Mid-60s, sunny, sitting inside the shoe, watching some of the young guys
just watching some ball, talking ball.
Out, and get a saddle up afterwards.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good. My goal for this weekend is just to survive, like it is every weekend. That's it. Just get to nap time and then get to bed.
Raising Billy while battling a hangover, it's always the best part of Saturday morning.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's a tough one. But
No, hey, buddy, why don't we just...
Ball in the bush. It's a very intriguing game.
It's good. I
did it for at least 2 hours yesterday.
It's great, man. It's like fetch, but he does all the work.
I don't have to do anything unless the ball actually gets stuck in the bush, and then I got to go find it.
Walk over. I want you to be so hungover when you go to bend over the ball. You throw up in the bush. Barf in the bush.
Yeah, barf in the bush. Don't eat it. Eat it. No, don't do that. That would not be very good. Yeah, Theo, clean that up, would you?
Theo, eat it.
Sharky, have a great vacation. I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
It'll be.
And if you don't come back, I'll lament your loss and the fact that you're not here, but I will celebrate the fact that you're on living your dream.
I'll be back, Bob. I have to come back.
You don't have to do anything.
I have to come back.
Jan said you could retire whenever you want.
What am I going to do? I got to sell the house. I'll have to come back.
Jan said you could retire. She gave you permission.
Yeah, she gave you carte blanche.
Is it 15 weeks from today or 16?
Either way, it sounds good.
Well, next Friday is
vacation.
April 11th. All right?
So that would be 3 months. That sounds like 13.
13 weeks. This is 14 weeks.
No, this is 13 weeks.
No. There's 13 weeks and a quarter in 3 months. So this must be 14.
14.
Boy, under 100 days.
Oh, my. Oh, my. And you're taking vacation for one of them. So what are we even counting that week for?
Is this the last big vacation you're taking before then?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then you're going to be on the permanent vacation.
I might have to work another year or two the way the stock market's going.
It was a tough day yesterday, buddy.
Wow.
It was a tough one.
Buy low, they say. Buy low.
Buy low.
You could just buy more now.
Right?
Or Shark, buy more now or just keep that bottle of lotion handy.
Bob, I'm 64. I don't have to withdraw from my 401k until 73. Hopefully it's going to rebound by then.
You'll be
a long
fine.
way off.
You'll be good.
Before we get out of here today, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan is sponsored by Caster Connection. Big one for the Jackets. How many points will the Jackets accumulate during their weekend Canadian trip through Toronto and Ottawa? Back-to-back Saturday and Sunday. 0-1, 2, 3, or 4. A lot of negative Jackets fans right now.
4.
39% saying 0-1.
That doesn't sound
31% saying 2.
That's
20%
better.
saying 3. 11% saying 4. Yeah, 4. Let's go. We got to win some games. By the way, their odds
to take Canada by force.
By the way, their odds are plus 750 to make the playoffs now. We were at plus 230 at the beginning of the week.
Let's give you a chance to get in there and win some dollars, Beam.
Shark just retroactively put it on the Jackets for what's happening in the stock market. There you go.
Blame it on me.
Yeah.
My fault.
We will. Everybody have an awesome day. Uncle Bo and the boys, they're up next. We are back live on Monday morning to break everything down at 6 a.m. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we're watching a crash on the far east side. The left shoulder blocked off on I-70 westbound just past 310 due to a crash that crews are working to clear up right now. Also still watching a closure here in the metro because of flooding concerns. State Route 104 in both directions shut down from Dyer Road to Jackson Pike. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, did you know that the college basketball championship game is coming?
That's right. And you want to go to HollywoodColumbus.com to reserve a table and guarantee your spot for that, for the draft watch party, all kinds of good stuff. You know what draft?
What draft?
All the draft.
We can't say it, but it's a big draft.
Plus, with their Tea Time giveaway, you could win a golf cart or $10,000 in pen slot play Sunday, April 27th.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, this is Bob Mashetter from Dick Mashetter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at mashetterford.net. Thanks.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. April's a great time to spruce up around your house, like getting rid of those old, ugly, drafty, hard-to-open windows and starting fresh. Especially during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now. There's no limit to how much you could save, and if you buy a house full of windows, they'll include a free entry door, too. Plus, with 0% financing, 0 down, and no monthly payments, you could get new windows and pay nothing until 2027. How do they do it? Well, Window Nation partners with the top window manufacturers in the nation to build windows to their high-quality specs. Then they pass the savings on to you. You'll protect your home with some of the best windows you can buy at a fraction of the price of those other brands. Just imagine what you could do with all that extra money. Hurry, the sale ends soon, so don't miss your chance to take advantage of the Buy 4, Get 4 free and pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now at 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com. One more time, that's Buy 4, Get 4 free from Window Nation, 866-90NATION or windownation.com.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done and enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or at goodfeet.com.
Evan Cohen here. Picture this. You arrive at your hotel. You have an important online meeting lined up with clients from all across the country. You have your laptop open. You're ready to begin. And the Wi-Fi is so terrible, you can't even connect. These types of stressful situations happen all the time, but they don't have to. When you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you have access to their free high-speed Wi-Fi. So you can take care of those critical emails, join your meetings on time, and even unwind streaming your favorite shows without having to worry. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book direct at LQ.com.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.